And good evening, too. Welcome to high school football action on Central Illinois Sports. Live tonight from Glen C. Smithfield, the home of the Pittsfield Sockies, where the Sockies are hosting their homecoming contest tonight as they welcome the 2-1 New Berlin Pretzels to town. Good evening to you, alongside John Hull and Justin Poore. I'm Charlie Hull. This is the Great Rivers Bank pregame show on Central Illinois Sports. The Sockies trying to get their first win of the season. New Berlin trying to move to 3-1 after a nice start to the year. We'll talk more about the matchup, what else is going on around the Sangamo Conference and the area, and more on the Great Rivers Bank pregame show after this.
Are you looking to streamline your banking? Great Rivers Bank has just what you need with our streamlined checking and savings accounts. Earn high interest rates or get cash back on debit card purchases with your qualifying account. Plus, ATM fee refunds. Certain qualifications required. Call or visit our website today at www.greatriversbank.bank to get started. Great Rivers Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Hey, West Central Illinois, are you looking for a great deal on a vehicle? Well, at Westtown Ford, we have a lot full of vehicles. Cars, trucks, vans, SUVs. We've got them all, and a lot of them at Westtown Ford in Jacksonville.
At Logan Agri-Service, we consider it a badge of honor to be recognized as one of the larger independent suppliers of crop protection chemicals in the Midwest. We've worked hard for years to provide you with the access to the best herbicides, insecticides, and fungicides from top manufacturers because we know without you, our local farmers, we wouldn't be here. When you have questions, call our local experts to discuss what works best for your fields and your situation, or visit us online at loganag.com. Serving agriculture since 1962.
Rough day at work? We all have them from time to time. But the last thing you want to worry about is coming home to your internet being out. Or even worse, waiting all day to watch the big game only to find out it's blacked out. With Cascom, those worries are a thing of the past. Our local technicians are here to service any issues and ensure you have a worry-free experience, whether it be internet, TV, or even home phone. Call Cascom today at 1-800-252-1799 to schedule or upgrade your internet and TV service.
There's a road that makes all the difference between the good and the great. A road less traveled for the few who can handle the grind. One of hard work, dedication, integrity, and leadership, with a respect for heritage and tradition and a willingness to adapt. At Little Jess, we travel that road every day because we believe in that difference. And we dare our competition to try and keep up. Little Jess, serving the tri-state area since 1969.
Welcome back alongside on the Great Rivers Bank pregame show with locations in Pittsfield, Berry, Liberty, and Hannibal. Great Rivers Bank serving the entire region with high-quality banking services close to where you live. Learn more about their services at greatriversbank.bank. Member FDIC and equal housing lender. Pittsfield and New Berlin tonight on homecoming for the Sockies. They sit at 0-3 coming into the contest tonight. Their opponent, the New Berlin Pretzels, 2-1 on the season. Standings currently in the Sangamo, Athens, Maroa, and Williamsville atop the conference. Stop me if you've heard that before. They're all 3-0 on the season. Auburn, New Berlin, and Stanford Olympia all stood at 2-1, and then everybody else is winless. Porta, Pittsfield, Plains, and Riverton all 0-3 coming into play tonight. In conference action this evening, Athens is playing host to Auburn. Maroa Forsyth is on the road at Riverton for what should be a slaughter. Pleasant Plains travels to Petersburg Porta, and Stanford Olympia is playing host to Williamsville. Elsewhere around the area, we can also tell you that Bushnell Prairie City is home against Edwardsville Metro East Lutheran. I bet you they haven't played each other too much over the years. Macon Meridian hosts Warrensburg Latham. Milwaukee Central A&M welcomes Clinton to town. Peoria Notre Dame and Peoria Richwoods playing in Central Illinois tonight. Rochester is hosting Jacksonville. Shelbyville and Tuscola go head-to-head this evening. Springfield High is hosting Chatham. Glenwood Southeast heads to Griffin tonight. Of course, we already told you about the Stanford Olympia Williamsville matchup. Decatur St. Teresa, who's 0-3 on the year, by the way, they play or actually go on the road to Tolona Unity tonight, so could very well see an 0-4 start for their season. Farmington is traveling to Mercer County. Jacksonville Route will be on the road at Beardstown tonight. Greenfield Northwestern welcomes North Green to town. Civic Memorial heads to Jerseyville to take on the Panthers. Triopia traveling to Brown County in what is Brown County's homecoming contest. Quincy High is playing host to Moline. Rock Island hosting Sterling Newman Central Catholic. Abington Avon travels to Rushville to play the Rockets. Knoxville is hosting Lewiston tonight, and Galesburg travels to Sterling. One last game, West Central is playing host to Calhoun in Winchester this evening in a WIVC matchup, a key one for those two teams. That's a look at what's going on around the area here on this beautiful Friday night, September the 15th. Great night for high school football action. Glad you've chosen to spend some of your evening with us tonight on Central Illinois Sports. We pause for a break on the Great Rivers Bank pregame show. We'll have our interview with Pittsfield head coach Zach Ferguson after this.
The thing for me that really separates DOT, senior leadership and the owners of the business really focus on employee engagement.
We have some of the best people managers.
The Tracy family, senior leaders throughout the business, really all of our leaders care about the employees that work here.
And that allows for a lot of families to come work at Dot Foods, and I think that's part of it, is being able to have all those different schedules and the flexibility to be able to move things around when life happens.
Before the TAVR, I was very active, worked out at the Croc Center. I would say less than a week. Well, of course, Amy tells me I couldn't do squats. She even wrote it in my discharge paper. Great big, Sandy, no squats. So I did a couple.
Oh my word.
Don't tell her.
I knew she was going to. But I have the best job in the world to get to work with these patients.
Are you short on time or budget, but your family is hungry? It's time for the Maya Authentic Mexican Restaurant in Pittsfield. Try the Maya Special, a crowd favorite. Delicious grilled fajitas, steaks, nachos Mexicano, salads in the tortilla bowl, the tastiest salsa and cheese sauce around, and the fastest service anywhere. You can afford it. It's the Maya Mexican Restaurant on Washington Street. Call ahead with your order and you can pick it up in the drive-thru, 217-285-4526. The Maya Restaurant in Pittsfield.
Golf course has been around since 1957. When we looked at doing the deck outside, we looked at a lot of different options, but everything led back to Pike County Lumber. We looked at quality, price, and service. We wound up going with Tamco, composite decking. Pike County Lumber was great to work with.
Since 1921, Farmers State Bank of Camp Point has been a vital part of our community's history. We are proud of our growth, our community leadership, and our success, which is only possible because of all those who shared this journey with us. We are grateful to the generations of loyal customers, families, businesses, employees, officers, and directors who have shaped not only our story, but our entire communities. Thank you. We look forward to serving you and your future generations for the next 100 years. Farmers State Bank and Camp Point. Together, we are a strong, united community.
Visiting with Pittsfield Sockeye head coach Zach Ferguson in preparation for tonight's contest against New Berlin. Coach, homecoming week brings a lot of things, usually a lot of distractions, but it sounds like you've got a pretty good week of practice.
Yeah, practices were good. I talked to the kids all, this week about, and even Monday about being focused. Homecoming's fun. They get to, there's a lot of distractions at school. There's a lot of stuff going on after hours, but I told them, when we're at football, we need to be focused on that. And they've done a good job this week in preparing.
This New Berlin program is off to a nice start. New head coach, so a little bit of some different wrinkles in what they're doing, but a program that you really feel like if your kids come out and execute well, this could be a very, very competitive game and a game that should have a shot to win.
Yeah, exactly. He's from Auburn, so they're running a lot of what Auburn did defensively and doing a lot of some of the same stuff offensively. So, they're 2-1. They're playing well right now, and we're gonna, coming off our 3 games of who we've played, there's games we played well and games we probably should have played better, but the kids are excited, and I think they're going to be ready to play tonight.
As far as what you're hoping to aspire to at the season, this is almost a must-win. You hate to put that kind of pressure on any one game, but let's be honest. You have Moreau on the road next week, which is a tough one, and then it doesn't get easier as far as the Sangamo goes. But this is a big one tonight.
Yeah, this is a big, and they know that. They know that playoffs are still in reach. Very easily, not easily, but we're not out of the table, but this is a game that we need to win. And if we win this game, it sets us up nicely for the rest of the year. As far as the competition goes, but I mean, there's no easy wins, but it's also, we got number 1 and 2A next week, so our kids are ready, and hopefully they come out ready to go.
Played a Williamsville program last week too. It was always good, but man, I think probably about as physical of a Williamsville program as I remember.
Yeah, physicality wise, they were and the speed of they're always fast at the skill positions, but their speed of their offensive linemen was what impressed me. And those kids were very hungry because most of them hadn't started. This is their first year starting because of the huge senior class they had ahead of them. So I thought our kids handled the physicality well. We missed some tackles in some situations that caused big plays, but we weren't scared of their physicality, and that's a good sign.
I think, we don't want to beat a dead horse, but it seems like every week, if you could limit those big plays,
right.
You're not going to maybe eliminate them, but if you could limit them, those are games even against programs like a Williamsville or an Athens. Those are the type of games you can be right in.
Right, and that's what we talked about with Williamsville. The first series, we had 2 chances to stop them in the backfield. We didn't make the plays. We had them on 3rd and long. We didn't make a play. You can't give those teams who are that good more opportunities than they currently have. So, we've been preaching that all week. And again, I think sometimes our kids just get so excited to make a play that they sometimes forget the fundamentals, and that happens. You see it in the NFL, you see it in college all the time. So, tonight I think the speed of the teams that we played the first 3 weeks is going to help us through this stretch with the teams we have left.
Obviously, being at practice every day, some things probably don't surprise you as much as it does people who only watch the kids once a weeek. But Carter Frazier, again, last week is a kid that looks like he could be a dynamic playmaker for you offensively.
He's really, it's nice to have, McKelvey brings different things to the table. Carter has been looking, very good, and he's a kid that, could be starting to get in that starting lineup, but I have no issues putting him in there because, he's made some plays, kind of been a spark plug really for some of our offensive stuff. So he's a kid that he'll be subbing in on both sides of the ball tonight, and he's, as I said, he's playing well right now. But it's also sometimes he gets a little more opportunities than Mac does as far as the passing game goes. So, but we're definitely excited about his development this year, and I'm looking forward to see what he does tonight.
Offensively, you've seen glimpses of the explosiveness this offense can have. You're just still really looking for that consistency.
Yes, and that's what again, 4 quarters of football, we have to play that, and that's such a hard part of last year. We've taken steps from last year to this year, but we against Olympia, you saw we're more capable of having big plays or driving down the field and scoring anytime we want. It's just consistency through the entire game that we got to really focus on.
I think if you think about this game a year ago against New Berlin, a perfect microcosm of that. If I remember right, it was maybe a 1-score game with a couple minutes left in the half, and all of a sudden they got a couple scores, and it was almost over at halftime.
Yeah, the wheels fell off. We had a pick 6 get called back that would put us up 2 scores, and then they scored twice before the half, and then the wheels kind of fell off. And the kids know that. I mean, most of those kids are here, so I think they're gonna be. Hopefully they're focused. I know they're focused. Hopefully they're ready to play a 4-quarter game.
I know you probably heard this, but Don Bigley always used to say, homecoming's a good time, but the dance is a lot more fun when you win the football game.
Well, that's what I told the kids. I said, homecoming's great, but it is about the football game, and it's about, people coming back to Pittsfield, and a lot of college kids coming home to watch the game, and a lot of other families that don't live in Pittsfield come back. So, it's more than just a game. It's a community event, and as I said, it's definitely more enjoyable when you come off with a win.
That's Sauk head coach Zach Ferguson. We're back on the Great Rivers Bank pregame show after this.
For nearly 40 years, the Niebuhr Funeral Home has been serving our area with professionalism and compassion. This is our business, our hometown. You can be assured we take great personal pride in serving your family in your time of loss. We're locally owned. We're your friends and neighbors. We care about you and your family. Niebuhr Funeral Home, with locations in Pittsfield and Barry, serving our community with compassion and respect.
One size fits all. That may be all right for an adjustable belt or cheap sunglasses, but when it comes to your financial needs, no one wants a one-size-fits-all strategy. Derek Harris is your Pike and Adams County area Edward Jones financial advisor. Derek Harris's most important goals are yours. That's why Derek will take the time to understand your needs so he can recommend personalized strategies with your goals in mind. Contact Derek Harris today at 217-222-7173. Knowing you, that's how Edward Jones makes sense of investing. Member SIPC. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. You've heard that phrase many times, and Rod Prentice in Pittsfield, your State Farm agent, is the guy you can count on to be your friend and neighbor in the insurance business. He has a complete line of insurance available for you from State Farm Insurance. You can reach him at 217-285-6930. Our family trusts Rod Prentice with all of our insurance needs. Stop by their office on Washington Street and see the girls. And Rod Prentice, your State Farm agent, 217-285-6930.
Jersey's World! Jersey's World! Party time! Excellent!
Party on, James!
Party on, Todd!
Jersey's Bar and Grill in Camp Point, where you can find the best burgers, sandwiches, and steaks, all locally sourced from GJY Beef Company.
We love beer!
We love beer!
Ice cold draft beer. Enjoy one of our many craft selections on the patio. All at Jersey's Bar and Grill, 109 East Jefferson, Camp Point, Illinois.
Chris Nichols, managing broker and owner of PCRE Real Estate and Auction, has over 15 years of experience, specializing in selling hunting and recreational properties and farmland. Chris prides himself on combining buyers and sellers, both local and from around the country, to help both parties achieve their land investment goals. Chris takes the time to walk clients through the process of selling their property from start to finish, making the experience feel seamless and enjoyable. Contact Chris Nichols and PCRE Real Estate and Auction at 217-473-3777.
Back with you on the Great Rivers Bank pregame show on Central Illinois Sports. The Pittsfield Sockies and the New Berlin Pretzels for you this evening from Glency Smithfield. New Berlin 2-1 on the season. They're off to a nice start. Looking to keep that hot start going is this Pretzel squad under first-year head coach James Dombacher. Coach took over when they transitioned out last year. 3-6 as a program a year ago. They lost their opening week game to Auburn 20-13 in a good hard-fought contest. Auburn's also 2-1 on the year. And then handled Porta in week 2, 48-6, before getting by Riverton last week rather easily as well, 56-6. It gets harder in the second half of the season for this Pretzel squad. After tonight, they are home against Stanford Olympia next week at Williamsville, home against Athens, and home against Maroa Forsyth before finishing out the season at Pleasant Plains. So some of their tougher games still yet to come. So this is a big one for this Pretzel squad if they hope to keep their playoff hopes alive. For Pittsfield, 0-3 on the year, 41-7 loss to Athens in week 1, 35-14 to Olympia, and then last week to Williamsville, 49-13. The Sockies are home tonight, travel to Maroa next week before hosting Pleasant Plains on the 29th, at Auburn on the 6th, home again against Porta on the 13th, and finishing out the season on the road at Riverton. So Pittsfield has some games that they feel like they can be more competitive in this down the stretch here. Of course, Maroa going to be a tough task next week, as they always are, especially when you get to play them at their place or your place or really any place. They're pretty darn good, and they are once again this season. Again, not a big surprise who we see at the top of the Sangamo Conference, Athens, Maroa, Williamsville. In a lot of years, it's those three teams right at the top of the conference, and it'll be interesting to see how they separate themselves. We've not seen Maroa Forsyth in person. I've seen both Athens and Williamsville. I feel like they're two fairly comparable ball teams and will play one another well. Of course, Stanford Olympia played Athens to a one-touchdown, 14-6 game last week, so I think there's going to be a lot of competitive contests yet to be played here still in the Sangamo Conference this season, John.
Yeah, I think we've probably seen three of the better teams in the conference for sure so far, and it'll be good to see how the Sockies do tonight to see if they still have an opportunity to try to make a playoff run.
Well, consistency is the key to the game, key term for Pittsfield, as you heard Zach Ferguson talk about, and honestly, it just hasn't been there for this Socky squad on either side of the ball. You'll see stretches where it looks like they've got some things figured out, and then a breakdown and a big play, and the other team is headed toward the end zone. Especially on the offensive side, they've continued to really struggle to put much together as far as scoring drives go this season. They've scored just 34 points through the first 3 games. And when you compare that to what New Berlin has scored, obviously not playing similar opponents, but they've scored 117 points. And, Justin, I'm not great at math, but that's quite the difference.
Yeah, and like you said, big plays is where we really need to clean it up on defense. We need to limit the big plays and come up with a few good big plays on offense. Really, I think would be a big difference in our season so far.
Sockies have stayed fairly healthy so far this season and are that way again here tonight. Lane Foster, of course, left the Week 2 game, but he played some last week. He's full go again tonight. Pittsfield theoretically also has Matthew Edwards back full go tonight as well, so that gives them their 2 starting running backs. Jesse Davidsmeyer's done a nice job, I think, when he's come in and run the ball, just a little bit of a different style of runner than the other 2 are. He's a little more of a power guy. The other 2 are going to try to run away from you a bit more. And then we've seen the emergence of Carter Frazier on the outside for this receiving core. But outside of that, Justin, it really has been few and far between for Pittsfield's receivers, and it's been a struggle when they've gone to the air.
Yeah, without Carter Frazier's numbers on receiving, we really don't have much. McKevely Moore stepped up, and he's had a few kid catches and when he's targeted, but really we need to see our seniors and not just them, but maybe get some younger talent in there too.
I understand that Pittsfield may be trying to go with a little bit of a shorter mindset when it comes to passing, maybe trying to hit some more 5 or 8 yard passes rather than some of those 20 or 30 yard passes down the field. We saw a couple of interceptions thrown last week when they tried to go down the field, so they're going to try to be a little more conservative, see if they can't pick up those yards in smaller chunks as they continue to move it down the field. We'll step aside as the band will have the national anthem. We'll have the national anthem for you as well from the United States Army Band and Choir. Back with starting lineups after this.
Stop by local Farm Home Supply this weekend for a special tailgating sale. And just like at the game, you'll stick around to the end for a special surprise. All right, first off, we got free assembly and delivery of all grills, including this Blackstone grill. Hey, what else is inside? We got $2.99 Kitchen Cook chips, all flavors. Special deals, you got to keep warm at the game on CC beanies and also on men's Columbia jackets and vests. Oh yeah, I've got $20 off an F&H Outfitters lumbar chair, which you need one to sit comfortably at the game. Oh yeah, T's a special. $20 for every $100 you spend in-store Saturday only, 8 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Time to take a look at your starting lineups, brought to you by Farm and Home Supply. Thank you to Farm and Home Supply for being our starting lineup sponsor. From snacks and hoodies to power tools and lawn chairs, no other place has it all like your local Farm and Home Supply. Learn more at farmandhomesupply.com. The 2-1 New Berlin Pretzels, James Dombacher's squad on the offensive side will start like this. At the center spot is the 6', 260-pound junior. That's Carter Pence. At the left guard is Bryce Pridemore. He is a 6', 225-pound senior. He's joined on the left side of the line by the 6'2", 225-pound senior in Hayden Surratt. Drew Bischoff mans the right guard spot. He is a 5'8", 180-pound sophomore. And at right tackle is Mason Scroggins, the 5'10", 180-pound junior. Wideouts for this squad, Owen Drozer. He's a 5'10", 145-pound junior. Clark Nelson, the 6'2", 180-pound senior, and Tanner Fry, the 6'2", 190-pound senior. They'll also be joined by the sophomore in Charlie Newman. He's 6'1", 165 pounds. In the backfield, Trent Turnley mans the running back spot. He's a 5'10", 165-pound senior. And Lucas Bixby is the signal caller for this pretzel squad. He's a 6'4", 200-pound senior. For Zach Ferguson's Pittsfield Sockies, they're 0-3 on the season. Dax Nutter starts at the center spot. He's a 5'10", 275-pound junior. At the left guard is Jaron White, the 6'4", 285-pound junior. And the left tackle is Tracer Mountain, the 6'2", 240-pound senior. At the right guard, Owen Shaw, the 6'1", 200-pound junior. And Clayton Reinhart plays the right tackle, the 6'1", 185-pound junior. At the wideout spots for the Sockies tonight, Isaac Helms, a 5'10", 150-pound senior. Justin Pinnock, the 6'2", 130-pound senior. Connor Allen, a 6'3", 195-pound senior. And McKelvey Moore, a 5'8", 160-pound senior. Lane Foster starts at the running back spot for the Sockies. He's a 5'9", 130-pound junior. And the quarterback is the 6'1", 175-pound senior in Javen Petty. That's a look at our starting lineups. Again, brought to you by Farm and Home Supply. We step aside for a break here. We'll kick it off, Pittsfield and New Berlin next on Central Illinois Sports.
Pressures on You would like to wish all the area teams the best of luck this year. If you're looking to get your team shirts or just looking for spirit wear for yourself, remember Pressures on You. We have over 1,400 square foot of retail space in our shop. Stop by and see us and check out our offerings. Business lets us help you promote your brand. Decoration methods we offer include screen printing, embroidery, and laser engraving. Thank you to everyone in our community for the support over the last 16 years. Thank you for supporting local. Pressures on You, 506 West Wood, Camp Point, Illinois. Best Systems Insulators offer insulation for homes and commercial buildings throughout central Illinois and the surrounding areas. We take great care to ensure that the insulation products we use are the best fit for our clients and their project. We understand that different buildings have different needs and that each of our clients has a unique set of goals. Let us work with you to find the best solution for your next project. Call Best Systems Insulators at 217-285-6005. That's 285-6005. Or visit them online at GoBestSystems.com. Welcome to Douglas Automotive and Tire, your expert truck and car repair center in Pittsfield, Illinois. We provide full service from oil changes to new tires and everything in between. Contact us today to schedule service. We're located at 303 West Jefferson Street in Pittsfield, Illinois. Call 217-922-0064. That's 217-922-0064. Britton and the gang know cars, and if you need repairs, call Douglas Automotive today for all your repairs. When it comes to financial planning, most financial companies focus on your income. At Northwestern Mutual, we focus on your outcome. That's why we know what it takes to succeed both on your balance sheet and in your life. It takes the right financial partner who looks at where you are now and where you want to go and design a financial plan to take you there so you can achieve the life you're after today and every day after. Focus on your financial outcome with Northwestern Mutual. Contact Sheila Davidsmeyer today. Her office is located at 311 West Washington in Pittsfield, Illinois, or visit SheilaDavidsmeyer.nm.com. The Northwestern Mutual Life Insurance Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Another rock and roll weekend.
Burgers, better with Pepsi.
Back with you on the Great Rivers Bank pregame show. Great Rivers Bank. Whether you're looking to purchase a new home, some farm or hunting ground, check them out for all of your financing needs. GreatRiversBank.bank, member FDIC, and equal housing lender. Pittsfield won the toss. They defer to the second half. They'll be kicking off tonight wearing their all-red uniforms, red jerseys, red pants, white numbers, red helmets. New Berlin's in the visiting whites with the blue numbers, orange trim, and blue sleeves here this evening. I'll remind you about our scoreboard sponsor, PCRE Real Estate and Auction, your number one resource for buying or selling real estate in West Central Illinois and Northeastern Missouri. If you're looking to buy, sell, or auction farmland, recreational and hunting land, residential or commercial property, you've come to the right place. Learn more at PCRErealestate.com or call 217-285-5800. Tucker Cook has it teed up, ready to kick off here for the Sockies. Back deep for New Berlin, we see Gabe Lyons, the 5'8", 150-pound junior. And also back there is Clark Nelson. He is a good-looking athlete. Stands about 6'2" is what they list him at. Looks a little taller out there, honestly, and does a lot of good things for this Pretzel squad. Cook is ready to go. He has the whistle from the official. He puts his boot into this one. It's a line drive kick, going to drive the man back to around the 11-yard line. This is Lyons on the return. Up across the 20-25. He is taken down and tackled on the play by the Sockies' Dominic Cooper. And that is where New Berlin will start 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. 11:53 to play in the opening quarter. So here comes senior quarterback Lucas Bixby and the offense for this New Berlin squad, who ran right over the Riverton Hawks a week ago. They're looking to keep their good juju flowing here tonight against the Saki squad. They come out with 4 receivers wide to the right and a single receiver to the left. They put a man in motion, throw out to the motion man. That is Nelson on the catch. Nelson's going to have the catch and run up to the 33-yard line, a gain of 5 on the play. And this will bring up a 2nd down and 5. So 2nd and 5 for the Pretzels as they got the blockers out in front that time. But the big boy in Nelson, thing about it is as tall as he is, he stretches out and he gains about 2 more yards that way. Bixby now puts a man in motion right to left. He'll hand it off to the motion man, looking for room around the left-hand side, and none to be found as Owen Shaw is in for a big tackle. Ball carrier this time is Tanner Fry. Fry is going to lose back to the 27-yard line, a loss of 6 yards on the play, and this brings up a 3rd down and 11.
Shaw really showed a burst of speed there as he kind of ran the man down from behind.
3rd down and 11. Yeah, Shaw that time was coming in on a linebacker stunt, and they picked the right place to run him that time. Now 2 receivers wide right. Bixby's in the shotgun. 10:52 and counting in the first period. Tight end now comes up, looks to the sideline for the play call. Bixby is back to pass. The left-hander stands tall in the pocket. Has some time, throws down the middle of the field. It's incomplete. Nelson was the intended receiver, and this will be a quick 3 and out for the Pretzels as the Saki defense holds on the biggest play in that series, that big-time tackle for a loss by Owen Shaw. So 10:42 to play here in the first period. No score on the PCRE scoreboard. PCRE Real Estate and Auction. It's PCRERealestate.com to learn more. Here's our punter, Justin. Is that Owen DeRoser? We're number 2. Young man puts his foot into this one. That's DeRoser. The Sockies will have Graham back. He'll let this one bounce, and it'll take a New Berlin roll all the way down to the Pittsfield 33-yard line, and that's where the Sockies will start 1st and 10 at their own 33 with 10 minutes 42 seconds to play in the opening quarter. Real Net and Twine located just north of Pittsfield, across from the airport. You'll contact them for all of your concrete lawn ornaments, statues, fountains, benches, and much, much more. Stop by and see Smiling Rick and Tracy Real at Real Net and Twine.
Charlie, glad to hear that the Sockies are maybe going to concentrate on the shorter passes tonight, as I really feel like they've been somewhat successful in that zone of the passing game when they've tried it, but just haven't done it very much.
Pinnock is split out wide halfway to Nebo. There's 4 receivers on the left-hand side for the Sockies. First time we've seen this set this season. Petty's in the gun. They'll throw a little bubble screen of their own back to Edwards. Edwards makes one man miss in the backfield. Now is going to be ridden down after a short gain. Up near the 33-yard line. Caught the 34. A gain of a yard of the play brings up a 2nd and 9.
The receivers out there did not get a lot of block there, and Edwards just didn't have much room. Got what he could.
So 2nd down and 9 yards to go from the 34-yard line. Petty in the shotgun looks at his left wrist. 2 receivers out wide to either side. Puts a man in motion. Fakes to the motion man. Hands it off to Edwards. Big hole up the middle. 40-45 has the 1st down and more. There's a big gaping hole right up the gut that time. He'll take it up to the 49-yard line, a gain of 12 on the play, and that's a 1st and 10 for the Sockies. Pittsfield will be up quick to the line of scrimmage here.
The Sockies kind of ran a little counter play that time, and
we'll see it after this play on the Northwestern Mutual Instant Replay, but that one was, fairly successful on the play call by Pittsfield. Moore again goes in motion to the right-hand side. Petty takes the snap, a low one, but hands it off to Edwards. Makes a man miss. Check this, Foster this time. Takes it to the 46-yard line. A gain on the play of 5 yards. Let's take a look at that run a moment ago by Edwards. He's going to go right up the gut this time. The Sockies get good blocking up front, and a big block there from Reinhardt, it looked like, coming across, was the man who really sprung that play open and resulted in a first down. Now it's 2nd and 5 for Pittsfield in New Berlin territory for the first time from the 46-yard line, and they get the Pretzels to jump off sides, and that's going to be, well, very close to a first down. I think they're going to be just shy.
Short. Yeah.
Just shy of it to the 41.5-yard line. Need to get to the 41. And yep, the officials say that's going to be good enough for us. 1st and 10.
Freddie says my legs are long enough to get there.
Shows what we know.
So 1st and 10 for Pittsfield. 9:17 to play in the first. 2 receivers wide left, 2 to the right-hand side. The running back is Lane Foster, stands to the left of the quarterback, Petty, who is back to pass. Looking this time for Isaac Helms. It's in and out of his hands. Incomplete, and this will bring up a 2nd down and 10. They had Helms right where they wanted him. A good ball by Petty. He just did not catch it. Falls to the turf, stops the clock with 9 minutes, 7 seconds to play in the first. Good student section at the east end of Glen C. Smithfield tonight on homecoming week for Pittsfield.
Edwards back in now at the running back position as he and Foster are switching in and out.
Moore and Helms are split wide to the left. Pinnock and Allen to the right. They'll give it to Edwards. He'll get a short gain on the play. Inside the 40 to the 39, a gain of 2 yards. And this will result in a 3rd down and 8.
Handoff was not very clean that time. It just kind of took a little while to happen, and that left Edwards with a difficult 2 yards.
Got to think you're in 4-down territory here, right?
I would say so, unless you'd get a sack here. 8 minutes, 40 seconds to play in the first as the clock's ticking down here. Petty's in the shotgun. 2 receivers to his left, 2 to his right. Scans the defense. Tries to get the Pretzels to jump offside. They said, not so fast this time. You fooled us once with that a moment ago. Now Pittsfield will have to take their first time out of the night with 8 minutes and 23 seconds, call it 22 seconds to play in the first. An early timeout by the Sockies. We'll pause as well. No score. Pittsfield will have it 3rd and 8 when we come back.
The Liquor Booth is your home for a huge selection of beer, wine, and spirits. The Liquor Booth has 2 locations in Quincy, 3520 Broadway and 1500 North 12th Street. The Liquor Booth, where it's always happy hour.
At Game Masters in Quincy,
we're passionate about the outdoors.
Shooting is one of our favorite pastimes.
When it comes to guns and ammo, think Game Masters. They have new guns, used guns, gun safes, and gun accessories. And be sure to head over to GameMastersOutdoors.com to check out our great selection.
Clothing, fishing, hunting, gifts, and more. At Game Masters in Quincy,
we're passionate about the outdoors.
8 minutes, 22 seconds to play in the game's opening quarter. No score on the PCRE Real Estate and Auction scoreboard. Pittsfield called the timeout, their first of the night. They come out with a receiver to the left-hand side, 2 to the right, and 2 backs in the backfield this time. I believe it's both Edwards and Foster in the backfield. They'll put Edwards in motion out to the left, hand it off to Foster right up the middle, running between the tackles. Keeps his legs moving. Nope, they'll actually, what happened there, Justin?
There was a fake run and a screen pass to McKevlin Moore.
Should have handed it off to Foster because Moore lost 4 yards on the play. And this will bring up a 4th down and 12, and I believe it should be a punting situation, but let's wait and see what they go with here.
Yeah, I mean, Foster would have had a 4 or 5 yard gain there.
They're going for it.
They're going to go for it from the 42 on a 4th and 12. Just under 8 minutes left in the first period. I mean, as well as the defense played, you could pin New Berlin deep here. Right now, if you don't get this, they're going to have good field position. Pretzels look like they're going to bring the house. Petty is back to pass, rolling out to his left. Has some time now, is going to get sacked. Back to the 49-yard line, a loss of 7 yards, and a turnover on downs.
He had an eternity to throw the ball, just couldn't find anybody open downfield, evidently. And
yeah, good coverage downfield that time by the New Berlin defensive backs, and with 7:35 to play in the first, it's a turnover on downs as the Pretzels will take over right at midfield. You see Petty, he had time to throw, and then all of a sudden he didn't. And gets sacked back there. That's Clark Nelson in on the stop for the Pretzels on the Northwestern Mutual replay. So 1st and 10 from their own 48 for New Berlin, who went 3 and out in their first set of the night. Here's a pass, quick one out to the left-hand side. Nelson has it, breaks a tackle, still on his feet, has the first down, but this one's coming back because of a hold. The man out there wide to the left-hand side got caught with his hand in the cookie jar that time, and this one's going to come back.
Lane Foster had a good chance to break it up in the backfield and missed his tackle.
Well, Clark Nelson is 6'2", 180 pounds, and Lane Foster is not.
He's not, yes.
Where the flag lays right now, it's going to be, what, about 1st and 11?
Yeah. Holding is the penalty. It's a 10-yard penalty. That flag looks to be at about the 43. So it'll be back, just shy of the original line of scrimmage. Back to their own 47. 1st and 11 for the Pretzels. That negates the nice catch and run by Clark Nelson.
So 10-yard pass there. Is that what we're going with?
10-yard penalty.
10-yard
pass,
penalty?
No pass yards. Negates those yards because of the penalty.
All right, then.
And their first down to go again here. They'll hand it off. Nope, a little RPO, and Bixby was high that time. That'll go to the ground and incomplete, and it's 2nd and 11. His intended receiver looked to be Tanner Fry. Fry's 6'2", and that ball was well over his head that time.
It was high and hard. That ball just about bounced into the end zone there, too.
Bixby is a good baseball player, and that left-handed frame really helps him on the baseball diamond. That one was a fastball, it looked like. 2nd down and 11. Clock stops with the incompletion. Bixby with the I formation behind him. He'll hand it off to the running back in the backfield. That's Trent Turley, and Turley nowhere to go. Peterbo in on the stop along with Shaw for the Sockies. No gain, no loss, and this is a 3rd and 11, and this Pittsfield defensive unit has come to play early tonight. Pretzels quick to the line, trips right. Single receiver to the left-hand side, trying to get some pace on the offensive side. They'll put Turley in motion. Back to pass, setting up a screen. They have their man in Nelson. He's taken down by Peterbo just across the 50 to the 48-yard line. A gain of 5 yards on the play. And it'll be a 4th and 6, and now an interesting decision here for New Berlin. Pittsfield went for it in a similar situation. I still say the right move here
is punt.
But they've got Bixby in here with 4 receivers out to the right and a single man to the left, and it looks like they will indeed go for it on a 4th and 6. Trying to draw the Sockies off sides on the hard count. Looks to the sideline, does Bixby, and now New Berlin will call a timeout. Their first of this contest. It has been a pretty evenly paced game so far. 6:26 to play in the first. Back with you after this.
As a new hunting season begins, we observe a species most rare, the hunter incompetus. The hunting ritual begins. Already he stakes his claim by bringing a duck call to a deer hunt. Disaster strikes. A devastating blow to a long-suffering species. There may be no helping the hunter incompetus, but for everyone else, no other place has it all like Farm and Home Supply.
Tell my mom to pick me up soon. At Full Throttle Parts, we do spray-on bed liners, a brand called Patriot Liner. It is very elite. It actually enhances the resale value of anything you put it on or off-road.
Go Full Throttle!
Go Full Throttle.
Well, New Berlin comes out of the timeout in punt formation. A high kick, end over end. Sockies have Foster back, but he will get away from this one, and it's going to roll inside the 10 down to the 8-yard line. And New Berlin plays the field position game this time, and it benefits the Pretzels as they pin the Sockies deep in their own territory with 6:16 to play. And a penalty flag also in. I think this one's going to go against Pittsfield as well. So 6:16 to play in the first. Let's see, though. Ball is down around the 8 or 9, and I think we might see a half the distance to the goal kind of penalty. Let's wait and see what the man with the white hat tells us when they get done discussing the penalty. No score on the PCRE Real Estate and Auction scoreboard. Good veteran officiating crew here, led by Doug Elwidge and Fred Steinway and a group of other gentlemen who do a nice job. Referee tells us that this is a dead ball, personal foul against the Sockies. That'll move at half the distance to the goal and be at the 5-yard line, and that's where the Sockies start 1st and 10 at their own 5. And
they're a long way down there right now, Charlie.
They are a long way from home. 1st and 10. That's what you do, though, in football. You play field position every once in a while, and that looks like the right decision right now for New Berlin if they can get a quick stop against this Pittsfield squad. Petty will have 2 men wide to the left. Two to the right-hand side, and a single back in the backfield appears to be Edwards.
So far
Petty in
away,
the
it's hard to tell.
shotgun, stands in his own end zone, hands it off to Edwards. Ball is out, and fighting for it on the pile here. Who came up with it? Pittsfield has it, but they don't get back to the line of scrimmage, it looks like here. They'll mark the ball down at the 4-yard line, and it'll be 2nd and 11 on a loss of a yard. Nearly complete disaster for the Sockies on that play. So 2nd down and 11 yards to go. Can't see, Clark.
Well, no, Charlie, I understand, but the last time they were so far spread, you had to be there.
I ain't throwing the ball out to the wide yet. They'll pitch it out to Foster. He, loses back to the 1. Call it the 2. Sockies headed the wrong direction. Another loss of 2 yards, and it's a 3rd down and 13. Didn't get much blocking that time, did Pittsfield. And a 3rd and 13 yards to go with 5 minutes, 19 seconds to play in the first. And the ball sits at their own 2-yard line. Petty will be under center now. That's going to try to maybe hand it off and see what they can get. They'll draw New Berlin off sides first on a 5-yard penalty, so that'll give them a little bit of breathing room and make it a 3rd and 8. Guy right over the top of the ball that time jumped off sides, and that's frustrating if you're on the Pretzel sideline because you had Pittsfield about right where you wanted, maybe set up to get a safety. 5:06 left in the first. Out to the 8 on this 3rd down and 8 yards to go. Same formation for the Sockies, double tight set with an offset eye. Petty takes the snap. He'll hand it off to the inside running back. That's Jesse Davidsmeyer, and Davidsmeyer's got the first down. Jesse Davidsmeyer says we're not just trying to create some space, we're trying to keep the ball moving, and he does all the way out to the 18-yard line, a gain of 11 and a 1st and 10 for Pittsfield.
Jesse Davidsmeyer says, hey, Coach, I should have been the guy in there from the beginning. I'm just saying.
Yeah, he runs hard.
He does.
There's nothing fancy about what Davidsmeyer does running the football, but it has been effective. It kind of runs it right at people.
He'd look good in a veer set, Charlie.
I formation in the backfield, Edwards and Foster now. They'll hand it off to the deep man, and Foster looking to get outside, and does. Cuts back on the inside, spun forward, and is suplexed down near the 23-yard line, a gain of 5 on the play. And this will bring up a 2nd down and 5. Good first down run for Pittsfield that time as Foster was able to get a little bit of running room.
Felt like they took him down and spun him around and 98 bottles of beer on the wall or something there.
4:07 left in the first. Foster checks out now as Edwards will be the lone back in the backfield. Petty will set up under center. Nope, there's Davidsmeyer. You couldn't see him. He's kind of a little fella. They'll hand it off to Davidsmeyer again. He'll bowl his way up across the 25. Call him right down at the 25, a gain of 2 on the play. And this will bring up a 3rd down and 2.
Third down and manageable is what we were always looking for. And
well, if you think about where Pittsfield was just moments ago, 3rd and 11 from their own 2, that 5-yard penalty on New Berlin has proven to be big right here. Sockies again in the I formation. And again, they draw New Berlin off sides.
Again. The man over the ball has jumped every time.
And that's, again, frustrating if you are the Pretzels because your defense really is not playing too badly, but have to cut down on those penalties because that will result in a 1st and 10 now for Pittsfield with 3 minutes, 27 ticks to play in the first.
Now, if you're the defensive coach, you have to say, hey, look down. See the ball down there? If it doesn't move, you don't either.
Give that boy some earplugs.
Up to the 30-yard line. Petty in the gun now as they'll put a man in motion. And the Sockies now will go backwards as it's a 5-yard penalty on their half. So they give it, then they take it away, and this will be a 1st and 15.
Looking at where that was going to happen, I'm not sure it was going to have anything positive happen anyway.
I don't know, John. I can't see the future. I don't have a crystal ball.
Thank you.
Get one on Amazon.
I was going to say I can buy you one if you want one.
Probably an app for that.
So 1st and 15. Luke Archer has checked in on the offensive side. He's in the slot on the left-hand side. It's he, Frazier, and Helms out here. Look for Frazier on the bubble possibly on this play.
Is Pinnock all the way over in the baseball field on that side?
Now a bad snap. Petty is back to pass, going to throw downfield, looking for Pinnock, who comes back, plays the ball, and is out of bounds. They say he could not keep his feet in bounds, and so that'll be incomplete and bring up a 2nd and 15.
And as far out as he was, I didn't think there was any chance they could throw the ball to him. And then the snap carried Petty that way, and he said, well, he's open, I'll take him.
Clock stops with the incompletion. Been a little bit of a longer quarter with both teams going to the air, and not necessarily a lot of success here in the early going in the passing game either way. 2:59 left in the first. Petty again with 2 receivers to his left, 2 to the right-hand side now, and is in the shotgun. New Berlin shows the blitz. They bring the pressure and tackle Edwards in the backfield at the 20 for a loss of 5, and it's 3rd down and 20 yards to go now for Pittsfield. Turley in on the stop for New Berlin.
He is their tackles leader. He has 24 on the year with 4 sacks, so watch him in the backfield all night long probably.
3rd down and 20 yards to go from the 20.5-yard line for Pittsfield. It might be one of those quick hitters to a guy like Frazier and see what he can do with it, right? Instead, they'll throw it out to the right-hand side. They'll hit Justin Pinnock as a blocker, runs toward the sideline, gets past the original line of scrimmage up near the 31-yard line, a gain on the play of 11 yards, but it'll be 4th and 9, and Pittsfield will be forced to punt. So 4th and 9 yards to go here. Back deep is Clark Nelson for New Berlin as he'll be back to receive this kick. Cook stands back inside his own 20 near the 17. 1:50 left in the first. Cook looks to the sideline here and now says he's ready. Shows the hands. He'll put his boot into this one. It's a high kick. Takes a bounce near the 43 and a New Berlin bounce. Pittsfield will now down it near the 46-yard line. Penalty flags laying on the ground back near the 29. Whistles.
I was going to say, we keep whistling, so I don't know what we're telling us, but lots of whistles.
Referees are discussing this play.
Was there a running into the kicker?
Or a roughing? Almost has to be with as much as they didn't want to change the ball out either, so.
Well, they wanted to see what the penalty was about. Could be like a sideline warning here.
Yeah.
Holding against Pittsfield.
Huh. Say that'll be
so they want to re-kick?
Turned down, right?
Depends on where it happened in the play. Looks like New Berlin's happy to take the ball. Pittsfield thinks they're going to have to repunt. There's about 25 yards between the two teams right now.
There's a lot of space right now. I bet New Berlin gets first down if they get to start from here, and Sockies are going to stay back there.
There's a lot of confusion at the moment as they talk this one out.
Here's New Berlin. There is Pittsfield.
The official and Zach Ferguson having a conversation. Holding against the Sockies is the call. And that penalty will be tacked on at the end of the play and be a 1st and 10 for New Berlin near the 44-yard line.
I didn't know that was an option even.
1 minute, 36 seconds to play in the first.
Sometimes you're going to make it up as you go.
Oh, no, there are several plays that you get to do that now. It's just different than it used to be, so.
1st and 10 from the 44. They'll get it out to Nelson. Nelson is tackled in the backfield. Good play again. Foster slowed him down. Shaw got the stop. Loss on the play near the 46, a loss of 2, and that will result in a 2nd and 12. Owen Shaw really flying around on the defensive side for Pittsfield from that linebacker spot.
Lane Foster, too. I mean, he's been back there. Like I said, he's not quite the same size as that guy, but he's back there stopping him.
Bixby is back to pass, rolling to his left. The left-hander hits the receiver. Intended receiver that time was Owen DeRoser. Goes off of him and out of bounds and will result in a 3rd down from the 46. Yeah, I agree. Foster has been playing well, and I mean this with no disrespect to Owen Shaw whatsoever. I sort of expect that speed out of Foster. Shaw looks really fast tonight compared to the first couple of weeks.
Well, it's homecoming week. They're all playing with a lot of motion, I would say. I would hope, anyway.
3rd down and 12 yards to go. 1:05 to play in the first. No score. Trips right. Bixby in the gun. He is back to pass. Stands tall. Looks downfield. Throwing and hits off of Nelson's hands. It was a hair high that time. Incomplete pass. And it's 4th and 12. And let's see if New Berlin again wants to play the field position game. And it does appear they will go with the punt team. So Pittsfield runs the return team on the field. I don't know where they were going there for a second. The front line was at about the 30. The ball is resting at the 47. Graham is standing near his own 10-yard line. Let's see if he can't get an opportunity to return this one. Good snap. Punter puts his boot in this one. A high kick. It's not extremely deep. Everybody wants to get away from this ball here. And, well, nobody really knows where it's at. It takes a New Berlin bounce and rolls dead at the 19-yard line. That's where Pittsfield will start 1st and 10 at their own 19 with 49.8 seconds to play here in the first. And still a stalemate on this contest, as neither team has really put together any kind of a sustained drive.
Charlie, call me crazy, but it looked to me like Pittsfield ran their best offense out of the I formation double tight.
Penalty flag laying back here at the 46 because we have not run a special teams play yet other than the opening kickoff without a penalty, so we'll keep that rolling here.
We're going to have a hold on New Berlin that can get tackled on to the end.
Referee will tell us it's a false start by the Pretzels. And Zach Ferguson says, can I put those 5 yards on the end? The referee says, yes, you can. He says, all right.
No, they said that we declined it.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know.
So they got the ball at the 19, and it's a 1st and 10.
I'm not sure I understand the rules of football at the moment, but
I don't know. 49.8 seconds to play in the first. Pittsfield has 2 receivers to the right. They have 2 receivers to the left. And Petty stands in the shotgun with the running back standing to his right. They'll put Carter Frazier in motion on the jet sweep, looking for room along the right-hand side. Strung out nicely by New Berlin, and that play will go for a loss of 2 yards on the play to the 17-yard line, and it's 2nd and 12.
Ran 75 yards, though.
He did run a long way to lose those 2 yards.
One of Charlie's favorites.
He had blockers. Just didn't seem to make his cut when he needed to.
20 seconds left in the period. I would tell you how much time's on the play clock, but they're not on tonight. They weren't working week 1, and they aren't working in week 4 either.
Huh.
I don't know if there's a mouse in the wire or what, but it looks like there's enough time on the play clock to let the game clock run out for the first period, and that'll move us to the second quarter. Pittsfield and New Berlin are scoreless on Central Illinois Sports.
Go team, go! Great Rivers Bank has a digital banking app worth cheering for. Move your money, pay your bills, deposit your checks. Hooray! Hooray! Set up a budget, manage your debit card, set up account alerts, and so much more. Our digital banking will give you a reason to stand up and cheer for banking. Learn more at greatriversbank.bank. Great Rivers Bank is an equal housing lender, member FDIC.
There's a road that makes all the difference between the good and the great. A road less traveled for the few who can handle the grind. One of hard work, dedication, integrity, and leadership, with a respect for heritage and tradition and a willingness to adapt. At Little Jess, we travel that road every day because we believe in that difference. And we dare our competition to try and keep up. Little Jess, serving the tri-state area since 1969.
Ready to start the second period. It is 0-0 between the Pittsfield Sockies and the New Berlin Pretzels. Pittsfield has the ball 2nd and 12 from their own 17-yard line to start this second quarter. We want to remind you about that drive-through fluid clinic the Pike County Health Department is holding on September 23rd. That's just around the corner. 10 a.m. to noon at the Pike County Highway Building number 4. That's the former JDL building in the Industrial Park in Pittsfield. Individuals wishing to receive a flu vaccine should bring their insurance card and photo ID. Well, let's see what Zach Ferguson and the Sockies want to start with here in the second quarter. They have trips to the right-hand side and a receiver out playing shallow left field. They'll throw a short pass out to Carter Frazier. He'll get up near the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, maybe a half a yard. And it'll be a 3rd down and 11 now. So 3rd and 11. He went out of bounds as well, so that stops the clock. In the shotgun is the quarterback, Petty puts Allen in motion from right to left. Pitches it out to Edwards. Edwards cuts it upfield. Now tries to go outside. Still on his feet, has the first down. Running down the far sideline, and he's ridden out of bounds across the 35 near the 36-yard line. A pickup of 18 yards and a first and 10 for Pittsfield. Edwards with good patience that time as the blockers kind of set up out in front of him. And first down for the Sockies and keeping this drive alive to start the second quarter. Edwards comes out of the game now, as does Frazier. Davidsmeyer has checked into the backfield, and Peterbo is in the backfield as well on the left side. Petty in the shotgun. Pretzels show the blitz. And let's see who moved first. A lot of finger pointing. Looked like the man crossed the line of scrimmage.
I thought the man over the ball for New Berlin crossed the line first, but we'll wait and see.
Referee tells us encroachment. 5-yard penalty. It'll be first and 5. And those penalties, Justin, have hurt New Berlin here tonight.
Yeah, they got 5 for 30 yards, and 4 of those are offsides.
So first and 5 from the 41 for the Sockies. Petty in the shotgun. Blitz coming. They'll hand it off to Davidsmeyer in the backfield. Keeps his legs moving. Gets positive yardage. Up near the 43. A gain of 2 yards on the play. They'll bring up a second down and 3. Pretzel's really putting about 9 or 10 guys in the box right now to try to slow things down here. The thing about it is that wasn't the fanciest of plays, but if you do that, well, one more time, 2 more times right here, the same way, the same results, another first down.
Absolutely, and that's all you can do is just keep marching downfield. I mean, you'd like to see 3 or 4 yards per carry, but take what you can get.
Petty is going to pitch it outside to Davidsmeyer now. He breaks a tackle, stretches out near the 45. That'll be another 2-yard gain, and this will be a third down and 1.
Make you think twice about trying to tackle him next time.
Oh, yeah, Jesse Davidsmeyer that time, I think, actually kind of put the hit on the defensive back here. He got a little head of steam and, absolutely, what did they call that on the Madden game? That was the truck stick that time.
You just earned a medal, right?
I just sawed my boat in half. Under center is Petty.
Exactly.
I formation. Now they'll move 2 guys to the right-hand side. It says, you 2 go over there. Third and a yard. They'll hand it off to Davidsmeyer. Not much there. Keeps his legs moving, though, and he's got the first down. How about the fight in Jesse Davidsmeyer? He's got the first down up to the 46-yard line. Needed 1, gained 2, and that's a Pittsfield first down.
He said, you guys want to make a pile there? Okay, I'm going to go over here, right over top of that pile, and I'll just float across.
He definitely has some toughness about him, does Jesse Davidsmeyer, the junior. He's one of those kids that really worked hard in the offseason to make himself stronger. And it has paid off. Sockies again in the I formation, double tight set. Just under 10 minutes to play in the second. Again, they move Archer and Allen to the right-hand side. As you guys' name starts at the beginning of the alphabet, you go over there. They'll pitch it outside to Foster. He'll cut back into Pretzel territory, down to the 46-yard line. A nice solid 8-yard gain with good blocking out in front from Allen and Archer. And this will be a second down and 2.
We all know what Foster can do when he has a few blocks and a little bit of room to work.
Second down and, well, they're going to call it more like 3 yards to go here, I guess.
I've already written it down.
It's fine.
I'm just saying you went from the 46 to the 46, and my math's not great, but that's 8 yards. So you're done. 9:03 to play in the half. Petty looks at his watch. Says it's half past time to move these guys to the left-hand side now. Takes the snap, hands it off to the deep back. That's Foster. Foster breaks a tackle, has the first down as he's taken down near the 39-yard line. A 7-yard gain. And a first and 10. Pittsfield with a decent amount of first downs here in the first half. 7th first down.
Charlie, you can tell me that running straight ahead in the I formation is boring, but
well, right
seems
now
to be getting it done at the moment.
And they'll stick with it here. The double tight. Petty draws the Pretzels offsides yet again.
I watched Petty that time to see if he's like bobbing his head or something to draw him off. He's doing nothing. He's literally just calling his call, and they're going on sound instead of on the ball.
That's a senior nose guard there, too. You would think that this wouldn't be the first time he's heard a hard count.
To the 34-yard line goes the ball here on a 1st and 5.
Just going to guess the better teams in the conference are going to see this video and notice things like that.
Yeah. Now handed off to Edwards. Looked like the handoff was a little interesting, to say the least. No gain on the play that time as the blocking kind of broke down on the left side, and it's 2nd and 5.
Edwards had to fight hard to get back to the line of scrimmage there.
I wasn't so sure for a moment that he even had the ball.
Yeah.
Did a good job just holding on to the ball.
2nd down and 5 yards to go. 8 minutes and counting in the second period on the PCRE Real Estate and Auction scoreboard. No score. Petty puts this time to Edwards, and he's smoked in the backfield. Near the 39-yard line, a loss on the play of 5 yards, and this will bring up a 3rd down and 10. So a 3rd and 10 for Pittsfield. And you hear the New Berlin sideline from here yelling, "Watch the ball."
Why would you do that, Coach?
A good idea. Petty's in the gun now in the spread. He takes the snap, goes back to pass, has lots of pressure, and steps up to avoid it, but can't avoid it there as he's going to be sacked at the 40-yard line, a loss of a yard. And this will bring up a 4th and 11, and Pittsfield will, I would think, punt. Well, let's wait and see.
I would punt. Doesn't look like they're going to. Petty's still out there. Nope, there we go.
The blocks broke down for the Sockies that time. So a lot of linemen standing around with not a lot of other friends around them. And what looked like a promising drive for Pittsfield stalls out at the New Berlin 41. Cook will kind of put a little soft kick into this one. It bounces and rolls down inside the 10 near the 8-yard line, and that's where New Berlin will start 1st and 10 at their own 8. 6:20 to play in the first as the Pretzels take over here.
Pittsfield says, hey, it's tough to go from way down in there. Let's see how you do.
1st down and 10 yards to go. Yeah, I mean, neither team really has shown the ability to put together a long, sustained drive yet tonight. And this one for New Berlin, if they're going to get a score, is going to have to be long and sustained as they start at their own 8.
They're all kinds of spread out right now.
Bixby is in the shotgun. Turley stands to his left. They'll hand it off. That's not Turley. Running back this time is
44.
Pecoraro. And Pecoraro gets his first carry of the night up across the 10 near about the 14-yard line, a gain of 6 on the play. And it's 2nd and 4.
Pecoraro is a sophomore. He's got quite a few carries for this Pretzel team. 30 carries for 205 yards and 4 touchdowns this year.
He showed some good quickness there. Now they'll give it off. That's Turley back in there. He breaks the tackle. Still on his feet up across the 20 near the 23-yard line. A gain of 9 on the play. And a 1st and 10 for the Pretzels. Good hard run by Turley that time. And New Berlin playing with a little more physicality on this offensive set. 5 minutes, 43 seconds, and the clock, the referee would like it to be rolling as he winds his shoulder. Going to need rotator cuff surgery if they don't start it soon. They'll keep it in the hands of the quarterback, Bixby. Bixby's going to stretch forward, get some positive yardage on the play. Looks like he's down near the 28-yard line, a 5-yard gain by Bixby, sort of like Nelson in the fact that he's kind of a tall, lanky young man, and he can kind of lay out there right at the end and stretch out for just some more yardage. They'll call it officially 2nd and 6. Just over 5 minutes, 10 seconds to play in the first half. Bixby again in the shotgun. He takes the snap. Hands it off to Turley. Had a little trouble on the exchange, and it will result in a loss on the play. About a yard to the 27, and this will result in a 3rd down and 7 yards to go now.
Just a little delay in the handoff there, as it was like the running back couldn't quite take the ball.
Well, yeah, I think Bixby was trying to get a read. Maybe that's a read play for him and did not get the read quickly enough, and there was, just enough of a delay for the Pittsfield defender to get in there. So 3rd and 7. Bixby is back to pass, has some time, clean pocket, looking downfield. Nelson behind the defense. He's got it, and he's going to go 30, 20, 10, and a touchdown for New Berlin. A big-time play by the Pretzels, and they strike first. 6-0 New Berlin on the long catch and run of Clark Nelson. 73 yards on the passing play, and pay dirt for the Pretzels. They've looked for Nelson a couple of times on a similar play, and this time he got enough behind the defense, broke a single tackle, and after that it was all over.
And New Berlin's going to run the swinging gate. Why? I don't know why. Because Illinois did it a couple years ago with Ron Zook, and so why not?
They're going to kick here with Brock Dennis as the place kicker.
You start over left. If nobody comes over, then you run the play over there. If not, you kick the ball.
Dennis puts his foot into this one. It looks to be good, and the referees tell us that it is. It's the New Berlin Pretzels striking first here on homecoming night for Pittsfield on a 73-yard connection from Bixby to Nelson. 4:25 to play in the second as you watch high school football action on Central Illinois Sports.
Timely application of crop nutrients based on soil test results and the individual yield goals is the focus of the agronomy team at Logan Agriservice, Inc. Logan Ag delivers anhydrous ammonia, dry fertilizer, UAN, liquid starter, and our lineup of Logan Agri-Yield micronutrients direct from us to your field. Striving to get the right fertilizer products at the right place in the right field at the right time, that's Logan Agriservice. For fertilizer and application services, call 1-800-LOGAN-AG or visit us online at loganag.com. Logan Agriservice, serving agriculture since 1962.
If you have that drive and you want to do more with DOT, then there's opportunity there for you to do that. It's not the typical job that you would expect it to be. Like, it's just super fulfilling. When my life needed opportunity, I chose DOT.
4 minutes, 25 seconds to play in the first half. It is 7-0 New Berlin on the PCRE scoreboard. On the big pass and catch by Clark Nelson from Lucas Bixby. 73 yards to pay dirt, and now Nelson has went back to the sideline, caught his breath, and he's ready to kick this one off for New Berlin. New Berlin received the opening kickoff, so Pittsfield going to try to put a drive together that can result in some points before they get the ball to start the second half. New Berlin wants a quick stop here. Nelson will kick it deep. It's Frazier on the return this time. He's up across the 20-yard line, breaks a tackle, gets a nice burst of speed, and is taken down out near the 38 or 39. We'll call it the 38-yard line, and that's where Pittsfield takes over 1st and 10 with 4 minutes, 20 seconds to play in this first half. I want to remind you about Bowler's Universe, open Monday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Fridays until midnight, Saturdays 4 to midnight. They offer a great menu, burgers and fries, specialty pizzas, the wings, and much, much more. Try one of the many craft beers to choose from as well at Bowler's Universe in Pittsfield. 4:20 to play in the second quarter. From the 38-yard line of the Sockies, with Allen and Pinnock split wide right. Moore and I believe that's Frazier out wide to the left. Can't tell, he's turned the other direction. Petty's in the shotgun, he'll hand it off to Edwards. No, Petty's going to run it himself. Pitches it outside, that's to Allen. Allen's got a good head of steam ahead of him here. He'll get it across the 45, but a penalty flag stands on the far side. The ball is up to the 47. Would be enough for a first down, but let's wait and see what that flag is about on the far sideline. Could just be a sideline warning or something like that here.
Yeah, that flag is literally... Oh, that was not a flag, Charlie. That was just a coach's towel.
That's a surrender.
That was I was going to say, I think you...
So a gain of 9 on the play. It's a 2nd and 1. Was I the only guy that thought that was a flag?
No, I didn't see it thrown, but I saw it laying. So.
From the 47 now, the 2nd and a yard. Petty in the shotgun. He'll hand the ball off to Edwards. Again, kind of a handoff that almost went awry, and Edwards will have the first down. To the 49 on a short 2-yard gain, but enough for a fresh set of downs for Pittsfield. So a 1st and 10. They'll say even right at midfield. We'll call it the 50 as well. Fred Steinway says, I like these big lines. They're easier to get to. Clock rolling here. Petty again in the gun. Edwards stands to his left. Snap back. Pass to Allen. Allen's got the catch, breaks the tackle. Fighting for yardage. They'll say he is marked out of bounds near the 44. 6-yard gain on the play. And it'll be a 2nd down and 4. As again, that's kind of that short passing game that we thought we'd see more of from the Sockies tonight.
Allen was a very consistent receiver target for the last 2 years for Pittsfield. He hadn't really even been targeted this year so far until tonight.
Trips right now. A single receiver is way out there to the left.
It's a long, long way away.
They'll put Moore in motion. They'll run the jet sweep to him. It'll be tackled for a negative yardage here, and the ball comes out, but they'll say he was down. Back to the 46-yard line, a loss of 2 yards on the play, and it'll be a 3rd and 6. I'm going to say it because you won't say it, John. Take that play, rip it up, and bury it. Bury it somewhere deep in the dark depths of the earth.
Charlie, the freshman ran it pretty well last night. I think they gained 8 or 9.
I watched the Dallas Cowboys try to run that play forever with Lucky Whitehead. Guess what? It wasn't lucky, and it didn't work. Trips right. Petty in the shotgun with 2:07 and counting in the half. And guess what? The Berlin jumped off sides.
It's not going to be quite enough for a 1st down, I don't believe, but
no, it'll be a 3rd and 1.
Yeah.
They didn't tell him to watch the ball at that time.
It wasn't the guy right over the ball, though, this time. It was the left tackle instead.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Just that undisciplined nature, though, and Coach Dombacher won't be happy about that because this is the New Berlin team that says, hey, we're trying to get back to the middle of the pack, at least in the Sangamo Conference, which it's tough to do. And little penalties like that against good teams will be what costs you games. Petty's under center with the I formation behind him. He fumbles the snap. He'll fall forward and actually pick up a 1st down as he was shoved from behind by the running back.
Oh, fumble risky.
It'll be to the 39-yard line, a gain of 2 and a 1st and 10.
That snap was on the ground the whole way, and Petty scooped and was able to get a couple.
Yeah, I don't think he ever came out of the center exchange that time with the ball. And now Pittsfield is going to call a timeout. 1:45 to play in the half. It's New Berlin 7, Pittsfield nothing. Back with you after this.
We do a procedure called a transcatheter aortic valve replacement, and we call it TAVR.
TAVR is state-of-the-art. It wasn't really available worldwide until the early 2000s.
It's a minimally invasive procedure in order to replace the valve.
I'm number 1.
I was number 100. Years ago, they would have to do open heart surgery, and now they don't.
Had I not had it done, I would not be here today. I feel like I'm living on a bonus of blessings.
Another rock and roll weekend.
Burgers, better with Pepsi.
1 minute, 45 seconds to play in the half. It's a 7-0 advantage for New Berlin on the PCRE scoreboard. Pittsfield has it 1st and 10 at their opponent's 39-yard line. After the timeout, the Sockies have 1 timeout left. Petty stands in the shotgun. He's back to pass, trying to set up a screen. He hasn't completed Edwards, but got no blocking out in front, and this is going to result in a fairly sizable loss.
The idea of the screen is to let those guys run by and then to block after that. But
blockers back to the 46. That's a 7-yard loss on the play, and it's 2nd and 17. After the timeout, they lost 7 yards, and Petty's back at it again. Rolling out to his left, has some time, has Allen out there in the flats, trying to make a man miss. Stretches forward down to the 40-yard line, gains 6 of those yards back. And it'll be 3rd down and 11. So Connor Allen with his 3rd or 4th target of the night?
3rd. He's got 21 yards and little short passes, but like Coach Ferguson talked about, that's kind of the game plan this week.
3rd and 11 here. Back to pass is Petty. Throws downfield. It is intercepted by the Pretzels. And the man's got some blocking out in front. Looks like he is going to be taken down from behind by Jaron White on what looked to be a possible horse collar tackle, and that ball was intercepted by Chase Dougherty. A 5'11", 160-pound sophomore.
The flag came down very late there.
Well, I think it was a horse collar.
Well, I think it was too. I just was surprised that it took that long to throw it.
White chased him down from behind, which you give him a lot of credit. A lineman chasing down a quick guy like Dougherty all the way down to the 15-yard line. He picked it off at about the 25. So, 35 yards on one side and 15 on the other. That's a 50-yard interception returned by Dougherty. And it's a horse collar tackle against the Sockies, and that'll take it half the distance to the goal. So if the ball was at the 15, it should be about the 7-yard line or so. Looks like it'll be at the 6, in fact, and it's first and goal for the Pretzels. So, how the turntables, and Pittsfield will call the timeout.
That'll be their last.
Their final timeout of the half on the big interception by New Berlin. 35 seconds to play in the period. Pretzels on top and knocking on the door when we come back.
Are you short on time or budget, but your family is hungry? It's time for the Maya Authentic Mexican Restaurant in Pittsfield. Try the Maya Special, a crowd favorite. Delicious grilled fajitas, steaks, nachos Mexicano, salads in the tortilla bowl, the tastiest salsa and cheese sauce around, and the fastest service anywhere. You can afford it. It's the Maya Mexican Restaurant on Washington Street. Call ahead with your order and you can pick it up in the drive-thru, 217-285-4526. The Maya Restaurant in Pittsfield.
Hey, West Central Illinois, are you looking for a great deal on a vehicle? Well, at Westtown Ford, we have a lot full of vehicles. Cars, trucks, vans, SUVs. We've got them all, and a lot of them at Westtown Ford in Jacksonville.
.4 seconds to play here in this first half. New Berlin looking to score here.
New Berlin can pretty much run anything here, so they've got a couple of timeouts.
Bixby in the shotgun. Where's Nelson? That's where you got to know if you're Pittsfield. Where is Clark Nelson? They'll have a high snap. Bixby will keep it himself. Looking for running room up the middle. Is going to be finally taken down near the 3-yard line. It'll be a second and goal from the 3. And now New Berlin will call it timeout. It's their second of the half. And it stops the clock with 21.7 seconds to play in the period. We're back on the other side of this break.
For nearly 40 years, the Niebuhr Funeral Home has been serving our area with professionalism and compassion. This is our business, our hometown. You can be assured we take great personal pride in serving your family in your time of loss. We're locally owned. We're your friends and neighbors. We care about you and your family. Niebuhr Funeral Home, with locations in Pittsfield and Barry, serving our community with compassion and respect.
One size fits all. That may be all right for an adjustable belt or cheap sunglasses, but when it comes to your financial needs, no one wants a one-size-fits-all strategy. Derek Harris is your Pike and Adams County area Edward Jones financial advisor. Derek Harris's most important goals are yours. That's why Derek will take the time to understand your needs so he can recommend personalized strategies with your goals in mind. Contact Derek Harris today at 217-222-7173. Knowing you, that's how Edward Jones makes sense of investing. Member SIPC.
21.7 seconds left in the first half. New Berlin has the ball. Second and goal from the Pittsfield 3. After the timeout by the Pretzels, they'll put 2 receivers out to the left, including Nelson in the slot. Turley stands to the right of the quarterback, Bixby. Nelson goes in motion left to right. They'll hand it off to, nope, Bixby keeps it himself, and he is hit near the goal line. Is he in? Yes, he is. The official from the far side signals touchdown, and New Berlin takes advantage of the miscue by the Sockies on the offensive side. The long interception return just before halftime, and New Berlin takes a 2-score lead. 15 seconds to play in the half. And on the PCRE, Real Estate and Auction scoreboard, it's New Berlin 13, Pittsfield nothing, and here come the Pretzels on for the extra point attempt, and there's some confusion on breaking the huddle here is New Berlin. They were trying to get Turley off the field, and he said, I think I'm in on this play, guys. Brock Dennis is the kicker for the Pretzels.
They've only got 11 out there, so I think he's probably supposed to be.
That's what you need. Good snap, hold down, kick up. Kick looks to be long enough, and it is good. So the Pretzels, with 15 seconds to play in the first half, Fake to the motion man, fake to the running back, and Bixby, the quarterback, muscles his way across the goal line to give New Berlin a 14-0 lead.
Rewards checking, I'm not sure if there's a better checking account around.
They have 3 requirements each month, and if they meet those requirements, we will pay them the highest checking account interest rate that we have right now.
At this time, it is a very generous 4.07 APY.
As far as ID Secure goes,
it gives you protection with credit monitoring, cell phone protection.
Prevent identity theft at a reasonable cost.
It's watching out for you.
And every 90 days, you get an update on it. So the peace of mind of that's very nice.
I love training. I like to help people improve on their tasks. That food has been providing everything for me. They just treat you so well. When my life needed an opportunity, I chose that.
15 seconds to play in the first. It is, 14-0 New Berlin. The scoreboard here says 15-0, but there they changed it. There they got it. And he's laughing. He's having a good time. And Nelson has his hand in the air, ready to kick this one off for the Pretzels. He'll pooch the ball up the middle. Pittsfield will not pick it up yet. And now it'll be picked up by Jesse Davidsmeyer. He's looking for, that's actually a Caden Moore, is it not?
It is Jaden Moore, yeah.
Jaden Moore. And Jaden Moore will retreat another 12 yards and be taken down inside the 10, near the 9.
Interesting strategy.
The Sockeye should take a knee and go try to change direction at halftime.
I think they will take a knee here, John.
I hope so.
7.3 seconds to play in the half from the 9. Stay tuned for the Little Jess Motors halftime show with halftime stats and more. Just moments away from you. We talked about in the pregame show, if you're Pittsfield and there's any kind of a chance of you to have a winning season, this is a game you have to win because you play Maroa next week. I mean, there have been upsets in life, but that would be an upset of epic proportions. And Petty takes the knee, and that's the end of the first half. We take you to the Little Jess Motors halftime show. It's New Berlin 14, Pittsfield nothing. Back with halftime stats and more after this.
Here at Little Jess, we value hard work, dedication, integrity, and leadership. We have a respect for heritage and tradition and believe in the pursuit of building legacies, breaking records, and putting forth award-winning results. That's why supporting schools and local teams is one of our favorite and most exciting parts of our business. For over 7 decades, we strive daily to use those same values as a foundation to meet our community's automotive needs and support our future generations. Little Jess Motors, serving our community since 1969.
Here in Pittsfield, we're focused on maintaining a healthy, diverse economic base to increase opportunities for our residents. Economic factors greatly affect a community's overall potential, and we strive to continue our prosperous culture. The availability of both commercial and industrial employment centers and new lucrative entrepreneurship opportunities are major assets for growth and development here in Pittsfield. In addition to providing employment and income to people, Pittsfield also boasts several tax incentive districts to further facilitate economic growth. Examples of growth and success can be seen throughout Pittsfield. Pittsfield is located within Pike County and widely known for the abundance of white-tailed deer, and is also home to companies that have capitalized from the region's natural resources. Located over on Madison Street, Whitetail Properties is a major local and international employer that truly embodies the local and economic spirit of Pittsfield. State-of-the-art communications and telecommuting are available here. Be sure to catch their televised series throughout the week on the Sportsman Channel. Come grow and be a part of something great in Pittsfield, Illinois.
The Farm Stand, located at 405 East Park Street in Camp Point, Illinois, is the place to go when you're looking for a fresh, homemade meal. Open Wednesday through Saturday from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m., the Farm Stand has a full breakfast and lunch menu. Enjoy breakfast favorites such as biscuits and gravy, pancakes, French toast, and the loaded breakfast burrito. For lunch, check out the great selection of sandwiches, salads, paninis, and more. You'll never leave hungry when you visit the Farm Stand in Camp Point.
The Farmers National Bank of Griggsville, with locations in Griggsville, Mount Sterling, and Pittsfield. Maybe you ask, why choose Farmers National Bank of Griggsville? The answer is simple. Local people, local decisions, and local commitment with local investments. We have many products and services to meet your needs. We invite you to find out more about us. Go to fmbgriggsville.com and explore all the services we offer. Visit any of our 3 friendly locations in Mount Sterling, Griggsville, and Pittsfield today. The Farmers National Bank of Griggsville, local people helping local people, member FDIC.
The golf course has been around since 1957. When we looked at doing the deck outside, we looked at a lot of different options, but everything led back to Pike County Lumber. We looked at quality, price, and service. We wound up going with Tamco composite decking. Pike County Lumber was great to work with.
Are you short on time or budget, but your family is hungry? It's time for the Maya Authentic Mexican Restaurant in Pittsfield. Try the Maya Special, a crowd favorite. Delicious grilled fajitas, steaks, nachos Mexicano, salads in a tortilla bowl, the tastiest salsa and cheese sauce around, and the fastest service anywhere. You can afford it. It's the Maya Mexican Restaurant on Washington Street. Call ahead with your order and you can pick it up in the drive-thru, 217-285-4526. The Maya Restaurant in Pittsfield. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. You've heard that phrase many times. And Rod Prentice in Pittsfield, your State Farm agent, is the guy you can count on to be your friend and neighbor in the insurance business. He has a complete line of insurance available for you from State Farm Insurance. You can reach him at 217-285-6930. Our family trusts Rod Prentice with all of our insurance needs. Stop by their office on Washington Street and see the girls. And Rod Prentice, your State Farm agent, 217-285-6930.
Welcome back on the Little Jess Motors halftime show. It's a 14-0 lead for the New Berlin Pretzels on top of the Pittsfield Sockies here at the halftime break. Little Jess Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram in Quincy, Illinois is the place to go for your next vehicle purchase. Their staff is committed to making the car buying process simple and making sure each customer's needs are satisfied. Learn more at littlejessmotor.com or stop by and see them at 3431 Main Street in Quincy. Well, New Berlin has the 2 scores of this contest. They both came in the second quarter. At the 4:25 mark of the second period, it was a drive that started on the Pretzels' own 8-yard line, a 73-yard pass from Bixby to Nelson. The kick after by Dennis was good to make it 7-0 New Berlin. Then at the 15.1 second mark of the second, a drive that started on the interception by Chase Dougherty, finished off on a 3-yard touchdown run by Lucas Bixby. The kick by Dennis was good to make it a 14-0 lead for New Berlin here at the halftime break. Our halftime stats tonight are brought to you in part by the Pike County Express, who are a local family-owned newspaper. They've been serving Pike County since 1991. You can check them out each Wednesday on a newsstand near you. It is New Berlin 14, Pittsfield nothing. We're back with the rest of your halftime stats next on the Little Jess Motors halftime show.
Jersey's World! Jersey's World! Party time! Excellent! Party on, James! Party on, Todd!
Jersey's Bar and Grill in Camp Point, where you can find the best burgers, sandwiches, and steaks, all locally sourced from GJY Beef Company.
We love beer! We love beer!
Ice cold draft beer. Enjoy one of our many craft selections on the patio. All at Jersey's Bar and Grill, 109 East Jefferson, Camp Point, Illinois.
Chris Nichols, managing broker and owner of PCRE Real Estate and Auction, has over 15 years of experience, specializing in selling hunting and recreational properties and farmland. Chris prides himself on combining buyers and sellers, both local and from around the country, to help both parties achieve their land investment goals. Chris takes the time to walk clients through the process of selling their property from start to finish, making the experience feel seamless and enjoyable. Contact Chris Nichols and PCRE Real Estate and Auction at 217-473-3777.
Prairie Land FS provides complete seed and application service. Our trained energy specialist, along with our crop specialist, can help you take your farming to the next level. Prairie Land FS, your leading supplier of choice.
At Full Throttle Parts, we do spray-on bed liners, a brand called Patriot Liner. It is very elite. It actually enhances the resale value of anything you put it on or off-road.
Go Full Throttle!
Go Full Throttle.
And welcome back on the Little Jess Motors halftime show. And it's 14-0 here at half. New Berlin Pretzels over the Pittsfield Sockies, and Justin Poor has some of our halftime stats.
For New Berlin, it's been the story of the big play, and we talked about it in the pregame, how we need to limit those big plays, and that is what's come back to get us. One of those big plays was a 50-yard interception return by number 21, Chase Dowdery, and that set up that 6-yard touchdown, 3-yard touchdown run by Lucas Bixby. Rushing yards, rushing totals from New Berlin Pretzels. Picardo has 6 yards on 1 carry. Turley has 8 yards on 3 carries. Bixby has 11 yards on 3 carries. Fry has -6 yards on 1 carry, and Nelson has -2 on 1 carry. Receiving for the New Berlin Pretzels, Fry had 1 target and dropped catch, I guess. And Nelson really has all of their receiving yards. He has 5 targets, 3 receptions for 83 yards. Bixby is 3 for 7 for 83 yards. As a team, they have rushed 17 yards on 9 carries. So no real big offense, but just the big plays. They do have 7 penalties for 40 yards. Most of that is offsides on defense. The Sockies have 9 first downs, and really, when they can get a drive together, they just can't seem to finish it. Rushing totals for the Sockies. Matthew Edwards has 8 carries for 23 yards. Lane Foster has 5 carries for 23 yards. Jesse Davidsmeyer has 5 carries for 19 yards. Javen Petty has 3 carries for -5. Carter Frazier has 1 carry for -2. And McEvely Moore has 1 carry for -4 yards. Receiving, Justin Pinnock has 1 reception for 11 yards. Connor Allen has 3 receptions for 21 yards. Matthew Edwards has 2 receptions for -6 yards, and McEvely Moore has 1 reception for -4 yards. Javen Petty is 8 for 10 on the evening with 22 yards, and the Sockies have 4 penalties for 28 yards.
Yeah, Petty also with the interception there near the end of the first half of play to set up this 14-0 game here at halftime with New Berlin with the lead. Here on the Little Jess Motors halftime show, Little Jess Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Quincy, Illinois is the place to go for your next vehicle purchase. Their staff is committed to making the car buying process simple and making sure each customer's needs are satisfied. Learn more at littlejessmotor.com or stop by and see them at 3431 Main Street in Quincy. And what we're going to do here at half is going to take another break, and we'll be back after these.
The Farmers National Bank of Griggsville with locations in Griggsville, Mount Sterling, and Pittsfield. Maybe you ask, why choose Farmers National Bank of Griggsville? The answer is simple. Local people, local decisions, and local commitment with local investments. We have many products and services to meet your needs. We invite you to find out more about us. Go to fmbgriggsville.com and explore all the services we offer. Visit any of our 3 friendly locations in Mount Sterling, Griggsville, and Pittsfield today. The Farmers National Bank of Griggsville, local people helping local people, member FDIC. Time to be thinking about tax planning. You can count on Illinois FBFM for accounting, consulting, and tax preparation for farmers and businesses in Pike, Brown, and Adams County. Phone 217-593-7233. That's 593-7233. Illinois FBFM can take care of your farm accounting needs. Get your accounts in order for this tax season. Contact Jesse Shootman, Emily Matthews, and Brad Wellman. Illinois FBFM in Camp Point, working for you. Press Yours On You would like to wish all the area teams the best of luck this year. If you're looking to get your team shirts or just looking for spirit wear for yourself, remember Press Yours On You. We have over 1,400 square foot of retail space in our shop. Stop by and see us and check out our offerings. Business lets us help you promote your brand. Decoration methods we offer include screen printing, embroidery, and laser engraving. Thank you to everyone in our community for the support over the last 16 years. Thank you for supporting local. Press Yours On You, 506 West Wood, Camp Point, Illinois. Camp Point Central Sports are proud to have Dear Wester Grain as a sponsor of this broadcast. Dear Wester Grain, there for you for all your grain and feed needs. Why don't you give them a call and check out all the locations of Dear Wester Grain? With locations in Golden, Paloma, Mount Sterling, Clayton, La Prairie, Liberty, Industry, Carthage, and Blandonsville. For more information, call Dear Wester Grain Services 696-4461. That's 696-4461, or on the web at dearwestergrain.com. Damon Plumbing, serving all of Pike County and the surrounding area with quality residential and commercial plumbing services. Damon Plumbing offers septic installation, drain cleaning, new water lines, remodel work for your home, or if you're planning a new build, make sure you include the Damon boys. To get it right the first time, no job too big. Have you seen Braden and Doug? Or too small? Sorry, Corby, couldn't resist. Call Braden at 217-491-5415 or Doug at 217-617-2318. Damon Plumbing, recommended by our family for your family. Welcome to Douglas Automotive and Tire, your expert truck and car repair center in Pittsfield, Illinois. We provide full service from oil changes to new tires and everything in between. Contact us today to schedule service. We're located at 303 West Jefferson Street in Pittsfield, Illinois. Call 217-922-0064. That's 217-922-0064. Britton and the gang know cars, and if you need repairs, call Douglas Automotive today for all your repairs.
The Farm Stand, located at 405 East Park Street in Camp Point, Illinois, is the place to go when you're looking for a fresh, homemade meal. Open Wednesday through Saturday from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m., the Farm Stand has a full breakfast and lunch menu. Enjoy breakfast favorites such as biscuits and gravy, pancakes, French toast, and the loaded breakfast burrito. For lunch, check out the great selection of sandwiches, salads, paninis, and more. You'll never leave hungry when you visit the Farm Stand in Camp Point.
Well, the marching Sockies sounded good here at Glenn C. Smith Field. Good job by Aislinn Wyatt, the drum majorette, I'm not really sure which one is right on that, but she did a nice job directing the band. Of course, under the direction of Justin Bangert. Aislinn is also the homecoming queen this week for the Sockies, so congratulations to her on a big week as well. Some scores from around the area on the PCRE Real Estate and Auction scoreboard. Moline leads Quincy High at halftime, 2019. They got an interception for a touchdown with 1:03 remaining in the first half. That is similar to what happened here at Glenn C. Smith Field. Springfield High is trailing Chatham Glenwood at the half, 20-0. Edwardsville is a little south of here on the Metro East side. They lead O'Fallon 26-7 at the halftime break of that game. 2 minutes to go in the second quarter, and Christy Domitian has 220 yards rushing for Beardstown, and they are pounding the Route Rockets 30-6 near halftime at the Tiger Den there. Also can tell you that Rushville Industry leads Abington Avon 32-6 at the halftime break. The Gray brothers, Tanner and Travis, have combined for 281 yards and 4 touchdowns for Rushville. Greenfield Northwestern, a 24-0 lead over North Green at the halftime break. We can also tell you that South Shelby on the Missouri side, they're the 10th ranked team in their class. They're beating 4th ranked Monroe City 30-6 at the halftime break behind a big night so far. Check out these numbers. Kendall Hammond, the running back for South Shelby, 8 carries, 237 yards, and 4 touchdowns. That's a
sounds like big plays have been the problem for Monroe there too.
Pretty good first half stat line if you ever saw one there.
Those are 2 pretty close towns there too. I'm sure there's a lot of bad blood there.
Bloomington Central Catholic is leading Monticello 17-16 at the halftime break. Rochester not going to be upset by Jacksonville tonight. They lead 42-0 at the halftime break, as well as the Rochester machine just keeps on rolling. Monroe Forsyth at last check led 27-0 over Riverton with 2:12 left in the first quarter of that contest. So it looks like the Monroe Forsyth Trojans are well on their way to another victory. Athens over Auburn at half, 28-18 in another Sangamo Conference score here at the halftime break. And up north, Lena Winslow, they are leading Dakota 44-0 just starting the second half. They're a machine, that they are. And they just keep on rolling there. An update on the Maroa score. It's 34-0, 9:42 left in the first half of that contest. That's the Saki opponent next week. They'll be on the road at Maroa to take on the Trojans on what will be their homecoming contest a week from tonight. Here it is, New Berlin 14, Pittsfield nothing. Both teams back in their respective locker rooms working through some adjustments here at the halftime break. Really, when you take a look at this game so far, it was even. First period, 5:45 to play in the second. New Berlin got a touchdown on a long pass play. Justin, one of the things we talked about, Pittsfield's given up some of those big plays throughout the season, and another one hurt them right there. And then that interception within the last minute of the first half just really can't happen if you're the Sakis. And it was picked off, but not only picked off and then returned 50-plus yards to set New Berlin up for another touchdown right before the break.
Defensively, the Sakis look pretty good against New Berlin. I mean, we've held them to 3 first downs in the first half. Lots of punts, both teams punting, but I mean, 3-4 punts on each one turnover down for the Sakis, but we need a few of those big plays to be in the Saki favor.
Well, and if you look at this Pittsfield makeup of their roster, really outside of Lane Foster, who is a big play type of guy for Pittsfield, and really Foster's not been put into those situations tonight to really get out much in space. He's run maybe a little sweep one time. He's been in between the tackles. I don't know.
Several times.
Yeah. Davidsmeyer has been, effective from the ground game as far as short yardage, but Pittsfield's going to really have to figure out a way to pick up some bigger chunks of yards at a time on that ground game. And
Carter Frazier's been one that we've seen this year that can catch and get some yards after. He's been targeted once tonight for 0 yards. He stopped right there at the line. But Justin Pennick's another one that if you can get him the ball out in open ground, and he's tall, it
has good hands.
It has good hands, yeah. And in the past has really shown that he could be a big playmaker. We just have to get him opportunities.
He's not had very many targets. You said just the one tonight.
2 for Pennick.
2 tonight,
one was a broken play, that he come back and it was incomplete out of bounds.
And then, of course, the couple of catches for Connor Allen, and that's basically the offense tonight for Pittsfield. Just have not been a lot there. And New Berlin take away the big play on the pass play to Nelson.
Yeah, they got nothing.
Yeah, really, outside of that's nothing. But what they have right now is a 14-0 lead here at the halftime break. We'll pause for our final time out of the Little Jess Motors halftime show. We'll get ready for Pittsfield to receive the second half kickoff next.
This is Rusty Mixer with Mixer Lumber Company. For years, we have provided quality products and service for all your building needs. New homes, garages, machine sheds, and shops, and we still do. Now we are proud to be partners with Rochester Modular Homes. We now have more options for you if you are thinking of building your new home. We are located in Clayton, Illinois, and our phone number is 217-894-6412.
The Liquor Booth is your home for a huge selection of beer, wine, and spirits. The Liquor Booth has 2 locations in Quincy, 3520 Broadway and 1500 North 12th Street. The Liquor Booth, where it's always happy hour.
Another rock and roll weekend.
Burgers, better with Pepsi.
Welcome back, and thank you to Little Jess Motors at 3431 Main Street in Quincy for being our halftime sponsor. 14-0 New Berlin as we're getting ready to start the second half of play. They still have about 1:50 on the clock up there, but I think those seconds are going to dissipate here in just a moment. We'll be ready for second half football action. It does give us an opportunity to remind you about Waters Concrete. Tim Waters offers quality concrete for your new build, driveways, decorative patios, sidewalks, anything with concrete. It's Waters Concrete, ready to serve you. 309-252-1052 for Waters Concrete.
The Sakis had a little confusion about which direction they were going there, as one of the men going back went back on the scoreboard end of the
He'd be offsides, wouldn't he?
He would have been.
Pittsfield will receive the kick. They won the opening toss and deferred here to the second half, so they will have the ball. When Pittsfield got the ball back with 5:45 to play in the first half, you kind of thought possibly they could, put together a drive and at the very least be down that one score. But that turnover and a touchdown by New Berlin is big, and quite honestly, in games like this, usually those types of plays are games that win or lose you a ball game. Because talent-wise, really, if you look at these two teams, it looks like they're fairly evenly matched for the most part.
New Berlin's got 2 or 3 playmakers, it looks like, and they put a lot on their quarterback, senior leader, I'm sure.
New Berlin had a nice basketball season last winter, and they returned some key players to that. Bixby being one of those, Nelson being another. And trying to move to 3-1 on the season. That's the thing. A win here tonight for this squad. And we told you it's a tougher schedule left still. Don't get me wrong. But, an outside shot to win 5 games probably.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they have tough teams left to play, but they still have some opportunity. Plains team that's having a rough year. And
they're going to have to pull what would probably be an upset. But, hey. With a little confidence, you never know what happens. Nelson will put his boot into this one, kick it toward the sideline, going to be taken. I believe that's Frazier again.
It is.
And the ball comes out, and New Berlin has recovered. Frazier took an absolute shot.
He is not up yet.
He is slow to get up as he got the wind knocked out of him. And New Berlin recovers the fumble at the 36-yard line, and that's where the Pretzels will start 1st and 10 at their opponent's 36 with 11:54 to play here in the third. Carter Frazier got rocked that time as he was full speed, and so was the defender. And they'll take a look at him on the sideline. As it is here, the Pretzels come out with 4 receivers out wide to the left. The quarterback, Bixby, is in the shotgun. He is back to pass. Looking, sets his feet, throws down the middle, and it's incomplete. Intended receiver this time for the Pretzels was Tanner Fry. 2nd and 10. That's the same set they came out with to start the contest, that little 4-receiver set on the left-hand side. They had a single receiver on the right. What that means is one of those guys is not an eligible receiver, past the line of scrimmage anyway. And what you saw was the one guy was in the backfield. I think that was Nelson for a possible screen, but they didn't have to. Now Bixby keeps it himself on a good read by the senior quarterback, and he'll take the ball down near the first down marker, close to the 26-yard line. Should be enough for a first down, and it is.
11.
Yep, a solid 11-yard gain on the play, and a 1st and 10 for New Berlin.
Yeah, the handoff would have been a no gain or even a loss, but he pulled the ball at the last moment and was able to find positive yardage there.
1st and 10, Bixby again in the shotgun. He will hand it off. No, he'll keep it himself up the gut, and Peterbow will drag him down right at the 25-yard line. So a gain of a yard. 2nd and 9. Had a really good read the time before. That one, he probably should have given it off to the running back after he found out very quickly that
he got greedy that time. He was like, I like this running thing.
Actually, what I think he did was a fairly smart play. I don't think he got the best handle on the snap, and instead of trying to take a risk and get a bobbled handoff that might be a turnover on their side, he just took what he could get, which was just a 1-yard gain, but they lived to play another down. Now Bixby's back to pass, rolling out to his left, throws downfield, and it is incomplete.
A little behind the receiver that time, and a little low.
Pecoraro was that time?
It was Michael Pecoraro, yeah.
Pecoraro.
And that'll stop the clock and bring up a 3rd down and 9.
Well, they're certainly in 4-down territory here. So they don't need to pick up the 1st down, just need to pick up a chunk.
So the clock stops on the incompletion. Bixby shouting out some instructions. Trips left. He's back to pass, stands tall, looks left, and it's behind the intended receiver in Nelson, incomplete. So they weren't on the same page that time, and it's 4th down, as you said. It's 4-down territory. Let's see what the Pretzels can do here. Can Pittsfield get the stop after the turnover on the kickoff?
If they did, they would basically get the ball back right around where they would have gotten it anyway, right?
Yeah, they
maybe just a little behind.
Closer to the maybe 30-yard line, but not too terribly far. Now, Berlin having a little trouble getting the play called in here. They're going to have to hustle. I'd like to tell you how much time was on the play clock, but they're not turned on. 4 receivers to the right. Back judge is not counting yet, and Bixby's back to pass. He throws to his right, looking deep, has a man in the end zone for a touchdown. Touchdown by the Pretzels as the man got behind the defense.
Number 8.
And this time it's Tanner Fry as he gets his first connection of the night. It's a 25-yard touchdown pass, and the Pretzels convert on 4th and 9 with a touchdown. Makes it 20-0 on the PCRE Real Estate and Auction scoreboard. And here comes Dennis on for the extra point attempt. He's been perfect so far, 2 for 2. And he'll put his boot into this one. It's another line drive kick. It looks to be good, and it is. New Berlin strikes first. They get the turnover to start the second half, and then they get the connection from Lucas Bixby to fellow senior Tanner Fry. A 25-yard touchdown puts the Pretzels up 3 scores on Central Illinois Sports.
As a new hunting season begins, we observe a species most rare, the hunter incompetus. The hunting ritual begins. Already he stakes his claim by bringing a duck call to a deer hunt. Disaster strikes. A devastating blow to a long-suffering species. There may be no helping the hunter incompetus, but for everyone else, no other place has it all like Farm and Home Supply. Tell my mom to pick me up soon.
Another rock and roll weekend.
Burgers, better with Pepsi.
10 minutes, 39 seconds to play in the third. It is a 21-0 New Berlin lead on the 25-yard pass from Lucas Bixby to Tanner Fry after the Pretzels recovered the fumbled kickoff return.
Charlie, will New Berlin run the McAfee here?
Saki's only have 3 guys up on the front line. And they'll pooch this one again down the middle, and it'll be taken by a new man over there as Frazier's not out there. Who is that?
Ferguson.
Just a little fellow. That is Ferguson. So Caden Ferguson, the sophomore, returns it out to the 34, and that's where Pittsfield starts 1st and 10. 10 minutes, 34 seconds to play here in the third. Illini Express here to serve you with walk-in medical care when you need it. Open 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. every Monday through Saturday. You'll find Illini Express on the south side of the square in Pittsfield. 10 minutes, 34 seconds to play in the third. Let's see if Pittsfield can respond here. Down 3 scores now. 2 receivers wide to either side as Petty's in the shotgun. He is back to pass, looking for Edwards out of the backfield. He catches it, spins, and is taken down for no gain. 2nd and 10. Saki's probably lucky not to get called for a
block in the back or a late hit.
Late hit there.
Yeah.
Does it look to be
It may have been a both.
2nd and 10 as it is, though, Fred. They put Allen in motion from the right to the left. Bad snap. Petty fumbles it and
falls on it.
He is able to fall on it there. He'll lose back to the 31-yard line, though. A loss of 3 on the play. And it's going from bad to worse right now for Pittsfield. 3rd and 13. When you're mired in a losing stretch that has been about as long as some of these guys have been alive, it's very easy to, when a game goes like this, to go, well, there's another one. And Pittsfield trying to make a play and instead have an interception, and this man's going to have a pick 6 here. It is intercepted by Chris Duffy. Duffy Well, that one was not extremely difficult on the pick six. But he does take it back for the touchdown. We'll take a look at that on the Northwestern Mutual replay. As Chris Duffy had the ball thrown right into his kitchen at the 40. A 40-yard interception return for a touchdown. And New Berlin leads 27-0. Petty's second interception of the night, fourth in 2 games here. And Dennis is on for the extra point attempt. The snap is good. The hold is down. The kick is blocked, so it is no good. But New Berlin with the takeaway touchdown this time. 9:20 to play in the third. It's Pretzels 27, Pittsfield nothing.
Once or twice a year, I might get the cold or a flu, and my wife calls it the man flu. So you know what that is.
Yeah. What do I love about our team? We have a good chemistry. We all work together.
I mean, come on. I've got the best job in the world. Sometimes they say, oh, I like to do handstands.
Yeah, I taught Brian how to do the handstand. That's all right.
And every day, I mean, it's a fun day.
Yeah, it definitely makes me proud to be here.
Since 1921, Farmers State Bank of Camp Point has been a vital part of our community's history. We are proud of our growth, our community leadership, and our success, which is only possible because of all those who shared this journey with us. We are grateful to the generations of loyal customers, families, businesses, employees, officers, and directors who have shaped not only our story, but our entire communities. Thank you. We look forward to serving you and your future generations for the next 100 years. Farmers State Bank and Camp Point. Together, we are a strong, united community.
9:17 to play in the third. It's 27-0 New Berlin. On the interception return by Chris Duffy. The pick six. And New Berlin, after leading 14-0 at halftime, has scored twice within the first 3 minutes to extend this out to a 4-score game.
Carter Frazier back out there.
Carter, yeah, he got the wind knocked out. I mean, he got a big hit.
Oh, yeah.
And now the ball was kicked on the ground, and Frazier will go
Nope.
right after it. He will not be able to pick it up. There's a scurry for the ball here. And it is recovered by the Sockies at the 28-yard line. That's where Pittsfield takes over first down and 10 yards to go with 9:13 to play here in the third. Sockies will have Petty bring the play in from the sideline, it appears. Two receivers wide to the right, two to the left-hand side as Petty stands in the shotgun with Edwards standing to his right. They'll put a man in motion and hand it off to Edwards, running left. Has a good gain up near the 33-yard line. Gain of 5 on the play. 2nd and 5 here.
Just need to keep that ball rolling. Easy to get down on yourself after things start snowballing on you, but got to do what they can.
Yep, I agree. Petty in the shotgun. You're not going to get it all back on one play here, right?
Right. There's still a lot of football left to be played. And runs like that, oh, my.
McKelvey Moore, the run, and then a fumble, and it's loose. He got it up to the 46, and I believe New Berlin's got it.
He'd have had the first down, but
New Berlin ball. So give McKelvey Moore a gain out to the 46. He got 13 yards and then fumbled it, and New Berlin takes over, 1st and 10. With 9 minutes to play in the third and 3 minutes from hell, quite honestly, for Pittsfield to start this second half. Holy cow.
Yeah, pretty sure that's not the speech they got in the locker room.
Hey, John, hand me those papers, will you, please? They'll say it's the 47-yard line. And Bixby and company back to action here for New Berlin. And he's back to pass. He throws it right down the middle. It's caught by Clark Nelson. He is able to catch it, and a penalty flag at the 49-yard line. And what do we have here?
Lots of whistling.
Whistle.
Whistle while you work.
Whistle.
Referee will tell us that it is a penalty.
Hold.
We're going to keep kicking the flag back, so.
It is going to be a hold against the Pretzels at the 49, so that'll move him back to the 39 and make this a 1st and 18.
Give them even 50 yards of penalties for the night.
To the...
Here? Right there? Right here.
The penalty flag was at the 40.
I was going to say, it should have been a 10-yard penalty, guys.
Put it at the 43, so it's a 4-yard penalty.
Okay.
And it's a 1st and 16. Quarterback going to keep it himself here. Get a nice gain on the play, does Bixby. Up to the 45-yard line. A pickup on the play of 8 yards.
Must have been from the original line of scrimmage.
Yeah, I don't know. 2nd and 7, we know that for now. That is what we know, and the ball is at the 44 of Pittsfield.
Turley run that play, 8 yards?
Nope, it was the quarterback Bixby, actually.
Oh, well, fine.
2 receivers left. Bixby will hand it off to Turley this time, right up the gut. He is going to keep his legs moving. Really nice gain. Forsey throws him forward, but Turley a good gain. To the 38-yard line, a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be a 3rd and a long one. So 3rd and a yard for the Pretzels. Just over 8 minutes to play in the 3rd. On the PCRE scoreboard, it's New Berlin 27, Pittsfield nothing. Bixby. Cool customer in the backfield, isn't he? He'll hand it off. Turley looking for running room. Not much there this time. Forsey trips him up back there, and
I think he's going to get tackled forward for the 1st down, but it's going to be close.
I don't think so.
No?
I think he's short. I think we're going to see a 4th and, no gain on that play. It's still 4th and a yard. So Braxton Forsey at the nose guard play that time for the stop. Of course, you'll sometimes hear Braxton on the broadcast in the JV and freshman games here on Central Illinois Sports.
Caught some of that broadcast on Monday. Did a really good job, all 3 of them boys.
Here's Bixby going to run right into the heart of the defense, and he's still fighting for yardage, and that extra push might have gotten him.
Might have got it.
It's all going to depend on the spot.
Pittsfield says they stopped them. New Berlin says they got it. The referee says timeout. Timeout from the game.
Tom Shaw
It
says
is a stop.
It's a stop. Tom Shaw knows what he's talking about doing.
There's a first time for everything. And it's a no gain on the play and a turnover on downs. And Pittsfield's defense, again, gets a good stop. And that's where the Sockies will take over right there at their own 38-yard line with 7 minutes, 14 seconds to play in the 3rd.
The majority of this score has not really come at the fault of the Saukey defense tonight.
2 interceptions, 1 for a touchdown, and 1 that set him up with the penalty inside the 10.
Yeah.
That 173-yard touchdown. What was the other one? I don't even remember where we were at.
25-yard
Yeah,
pass?
25-yard pass on 4th and 9. Here's Petty. He's running for his life back there. He'll throw it toward the sideline. It's incomplete.
Carter Frazier on the target.
That stops the clock. Makes it 2nd down and 10 yards to go. Reelette and Twine, they are located just north of Pittsfield across from the airport. They've got a great selection. I mean, a wide variety of concrete lawn ornaments, statues, fountains, benches, and much, much more. Rick and Tracy Reel and their staff will hook you up at Reelette and Twine, 217-285-6710. Hard count. And the man over the ball says, nope.
He jumped, but he nearly crossed the ball still, but he didn't quite get there.
Says, not me. Petty now takes the snap. He fakes the handoff. He's running for his life.
Indecisive.
And he is going to get sacked.
He was going to throw it right away. Then he decided to pull it down. Then he was going to throw it again. Then he tried to tuck it and got sacked.
Too much time back to the 35. A loss of 3, and it's 3rd down and 13 yards to go. The clock did not move at all on that play.
They're trying to wind the clock. They said wind the clock. The man is...
He's going to have to go to Illini Express.
He's playing the air guitar out there, but...
Have to get that. Yeah. Workman's comp claim submitted. Petty is back to pass. Looking down the middle of the field, and it's pretty good pass that time. Hit Allen in the hands. Yeah. Probably should have been a catch this time, but it's incomplete as it is, and a quick 3 and out for Pittsfield on a 4th and 13 now. They'll bring the punt team onto the field.
Pretty good pass that time to Pitty.
Yep, that ball was right where it needed to be, actually.
Yeah. Sure was.
So 4th and 13. And Pittsfield set to punt it away. Cook will stand back near his own 23. Clark Nelson is at his own 34-yard line. Doesn't really have the prototypical body of a punt and kick returner, but he's a good athlete. Cook now is a kick right at him, and Nelson will let it bounce. Now he'll pick it up off the bounce. Breaks the tackle, 35-yard line. Breaks outside as the Sockies did not have contained and has Cook to beat. Cook will have him sidestep now, slowed him down a bit. Nelson still on his feet and is ripped down finally, but not after a big return all the way to the 9. Clark Nelson with the big punt return.
Joe Ladner finally bringing him down.
He started back at his own 23-yard line, so that's where did they mark the ball down at? About the 8, let's call it. So that's 42 yards on one side, and what do we say? It's from the 23, another 27 on the other.
Yeah.
Yep.
That is a 60-yard punt return. And it's 1st and goal from the 8. First and goal from the 8.
Normally, I'd say that you need to catch that ball in the air and not let it bounce, but I think that gave him the time to set up that run.
It was effective, wasn't it? Bixby now breaking tackles out there, and he finally is taken down near the 5. He took a little bit of a beating that time, but gained 3 yards, and it's 2nd and goal from the 5. Clock counting with just over 6 minutes to play in the 3rd. We're not even halfway through the 3rd period, and New Berlin trying to score their 3rd touchdown already of this quarter. They have dominated and made the adjustments and, gotten the breaks. And most of them they've made. Now they'll hand it off to Turley. No, Bixby keeps it himself, and he'll tiptoe across the goal line for the touchdown. The Sockies bit hard on the handoff, and Bixby keeps it himself and goes for the score. 5 minutes, 48 seconds to play in the 3rd, and it's 33-0 New Berlin on the PCRE Real Estate and Auction Scoreboard.
The Sockies need to figure something out, or they're going to get 40-0 down homecoming in a game that they were relatively even for most of the first half.
Yep. Here's Mr. Dennis on to kick it through. He had his last kick blocked. This is a low snap. The kick again is blocked, and with 5 minutes, 48 seconds to play in the 3rd, it'll maintain this 33-0 lead. But the Pretzels, they've come out crunching hard on the Sockies in this second half. And Lucas Bixby, the quarterback, man, we told you, a cool customer in the backfield. He walks in untouched for the touchdown. Puts the Pretzels on top, 33-0.
Hi, this is Rusty Mixer with Mixer Lumber Company. It is the time of year to consider your grain storage needs. Mixer Lumber and GSI offers all your materials for drying, storage, and grain handling systems. We provide the service and experience to install and service all your GSI grain needs. Mixer Lumber Company is located in Clayton, Illinois, and our phone number is 217-894-6412.
Five minutes, 48 seconds to play in the 3rd. 33-0 is the New Berlin lead. And it was a 14-0 game at halftime, has quickly turned into a blowout for the Pretzels. In 6 minutes and 12 seconds.
Big plays.
Big plays, takeaways, forcing fumbles. What have they had? The Sockies have thrown an interception. They fumbled the kickoff return, and they fumbled and so 3 turnovers by Pittsfield in those 6 minutes and 12 seconds. And New Berlin has capitalized. Kudos to the Pretzels and Coach Dombacher for doing so. Now the ball is kicked on the ground, and the Sockies will have it picked up here. Carter Frazier, I believe, is the man with it again.
He is.
And he'll get a nice return as he gets back on the horse of the returns this time. And up to the 45, sets Pittsfield up with their best field position of the night. 1st and 10 at their own 45. He's one of those kids that's not going to shy away. I mean, he took a big shot to start the second half. Big time. Kind of was straight up and down trying to fight for yards, and you'd like to see him get back out there to the 45 with 5:42 to play in the 3rd. You can understand what that says right now, Justin. I will.
Carly, you don't understand this. Oh,
No, but this is actually my writing. I know this song. This is Soulja Boy.
Soulja Boy.
Oh, okay.
Soulja Boy.
Oh.
You know it.
Uh-huh.
I know the dance probably better than I know the words.
Pitch it outside to Connor Allen. He's going to lose yardage back to the 41. There was no blocking that time. To the 42 is where they'll mark him back to. So a loss of 3. 2nd and 13. Gosh, I hope we don't get a copyright infringement on that because we sounded just like Soulja Boy right there.
Yes. It wasn't 30 seconds, was it?
Probably couldn't tell the difference. 2nd and 13. They'll hand it off to Luke Archer on the jet sweep, and he'll be tackled in the backfield. Back to the 37-yard line, a loss of 5. And
Charlie,
third and don't say it. It's 3rd and 18.
As we've talked about, the Sockies are not fast enough to run side to side in this conference right now.
Archer was the ball carrier.
Archer.
Well, they're not getting that outside man sealed, and he's coming right in and breaking the play up in a hurry, and then he's got friends that come along with him. It's 3rd and 18 from the 37-yard line.
Was it a loss of 5?
A loss of 5 on the play, yes, sir. Petty's in the gun. He's back to pass. 3-man rush.
Oh, pressure.
There's a hole in the backfield, and Petty is going to get sacked anyway. Actually, there's 2 holds and a sack back to the 20.
I would turn down the holds.
Yeah, he's going to lose 17 yards, and it's going to be a 4th down and 35 yards to go.
Maybe they'll do us a favor and take the penalty.
That would be nice of them. I don't think they will, though.
I'm not sure why it's even taking this long to discuss it.
Well, there's 2 holds, both on the offense. And the referee says that'll be declined. We also have a hold declined, and it'll be 4th down and 35.
And we're going to punt.
Yep. Here comes the punt team onto the field. Nelson will stand at about his own 49-yard line to receive this punt from Cook, who is back inside his 10.
On the 10.
At about the 9. Did I hear a 9er in there?
I thought we had a Wookiee in the box there for a moment.
Wookiee?
Yeah.
Wookiee?
Wow.
Either a Wookiee or the Cowardly Lion, one or the other. I wasn't sure.
Wasn't that Limp Bizkit song, I Did It All for the Wookiee?
I think it was different than
Big
that.
Big Star Wars fan
Something
was
like
Fred
that.
Durst.
Uh-huh.
Here's a pretty good punt by Cook. It's going to
nice barrel kick.
Take a good bounce. Yep, nice job by Tucker.
Bounce
Cook inside the 40, I'm going to guess by the 38-yard line. Let's see what Doug Elledge tells us. He's going to say, like the big line, we're going to the 40. Big line, gang, here. To the 40. 4:13 to play here in the 3rd.
It's easier to set the ball if you put it on a big line, Charlie.
Yeah. Box is easier to set.
Uh-huh.
Less measuring.
It's 33-0 here. New Berlin with the lead, 4:13 to go.
First time they have the
quarter of play.
First time they have the ball on their own side of the field this half.
Yep. Bixby in the shotgun, trips right, single receiver to his left. He is back to pass, looking right, throwing right, and it is completed. Looks like Pecoraro out there possibly, or it could be.
Number 8.
Fry, that's Fry.
That's Fry.
To the 45, gain of 5 on the play, 2nd and 5 here. Fry, of course, had a touchdown catch earlier. He and Nelson both with touchdown receptions. Bixby's got a couple on the running side. And they also had the interception return for the touchdown. I believe that was
all in the second half.
It was all in this 3rd quarter.
Yeah.
Daughtry.
Yeah.
Dowry, yeah. Working on my words.
Bixby scans the defense. He puts Turley to his right. Now he's going to put him in motion out to the right and pitch it out to him. Nope. They're going to pitch it out to Fry. Fry's going to have the 1st down.
Lower shoulder, gained another yard.
Yeah, he kind of really finished off that play pretty well, didn't he?
He did.
And now some
mark him at the 48.
Now some jawing on the far sideline. Look at that taken care of. Yeah, they're going to say the 47-yard line,
yeah.
So that's a pickup of 8 yards. And should be a 1st and 10 here for the Pretzels. To the Socky 47, and New Berlin wants a timeout. 3 minutes, 17 seconds to play in the 3rd as the Pretzels call their first timeout of this second half. We'll step aside as well.
Rough day at work? We all have them from time to time. But the last thing you want to worry about is coming home to your internet being out. Or even worse, waiting all day to watch the big game, only to find out it's blacked out. With Cascom, those worries are a thing of the past. Our local technicians are here to service any issues and ensure you have a worry-free experience, whether it be internet, TV, or even home phone. Call Cascom today at 1-800-252-1799 to schedule or upgrade your internet and TV service.
Another rock and roll weekend.
Burgers, better with Pepsi.
I love training. I like to help people improve on their task. That food has been providing everything for me. They just treat you so well. When my life needed an opportunity, I chose that.
3 minutes, 16 seconds left in the third period, and New Berlin will have it first and 10 from the Pittsfield 47 following the timeout by the Pretzels. And Bixby's back to pass. Had a man wrapped around his bottom side in Jaron White and throws that pass incomplete. That'll stop the clock and make it 2nd and 10 as White was in pursuit that time of the quarterback Bixby.
Berlin trying to get to that 40-point lead and run the clock the rest of the second half.
Jaron White comes out the field and he says, "Why am I coming out? I was right. I just made the stop." And he's a little frustrated, as is most of the sideline. They'll have the quarterback Bixby keep it here. He is taken down in the backfield by Connor Allen. I'm going to say that Bixby got back to the line of scrimmage. No gain, no loss on his 3rd and 10. Good play by Allen on the solo tackle that time from that outside backer spot. 3rd and 10. 2:50 and counting to the third on the PCRE Real Estate and Auction scoreboard. It's been all New Berlin here in the second half. PCRE Real Estate.com, place to go. Learn about all the great offerings, hunting and recreational property, real estate for residential real estate as well. PCRE, they will hook you up. Bixby in the shotgun, tries to draw the Sakis offsides. It didn't work, but he still got some time on the play clock, or does he? The referee throws a
says no. No, he doesn't.
Flag from behind him, right at Bixby's feet, and he says what? He says false start. So a 5-yard penalty, and this will make it a 3rd and 15 by the Pretzels.
That flag almost felt like it was kind of like the little pads that they throw at the wrestlers to let them know that the time's up, Charlie. Like, hey, don't keep going because we're going to stop it anyway.
For those that get to throw that towel, it is kind of fun to.
You've gotten to do that before?
I have. It's a good time.
Ball is at the 47. 3rd and 15. Bixby's back to pass. Pump fake. Throws it deep downfield. This is going to be too far. That's too high. Too high.
What do you mean too high?
Yeah, it'll be a 4th down and 15 yards to go now from the 47. And I believe we'll see New Berlin bring on the punt team. Yeah,
it appears that way.
Rockies will put Graham back to receive this punt. Switch a lot of guys out for the
I was going to ask why everybody changes for the punt return. Seems like something that should be mostly the defense.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think there's only 10 guys. 4 on the line. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yeah.
There's 5 on the line, right?
We only have 10. 10 guys.
Yeah.
High kick. Booming by Nelson. And it'll bounce and roll dead right at the 15-yard line. Pretty good punt. Caught the 16. That's where Pittsfield will take over 1st and 10. They didn't need 11 guys anyway. 1:54 to play in the third. LSST Trucking and 3D Leasing for all of your trucking and hauling needs. Call the Dunhams and their professional team at LSST Trucking and 3D Leasing. 217-285-2808. Also want to remind you about that drive-through flu clinic that the Pike County Health Department is putting on. It's on September the 23rd. That's a week from tomorrow. 10 a.m. to noon at the Pike County Highway Building number 4. That's the former JDL Building number 4 in the industrial park. Individuals wishing to receive a vaccine, they ask you to please bring your insurance cards and photo identification. Petty is back to pass. He'll throw it across the middle. Has his man in Connor Allen. Allen's got the first down on a nice grab. Up across the 30 near the 32-yard line. But, hey, wait. There's a flag. Whistles. This one could be coming back. The referee will tell us. It is an eligible man downfield by the Sockeye, so that will negate that pass. And, well, when things are going bad, they go bad, boys. And they're going bad.
Is that a 5-yard penalty?
I believe that'll be a 5-yard penalty. Should bring up a 1st and 15. Looks like 5 yards. 1st and 15 from the 11.
Not playing the big lines right now, so it's hard to tell.
Petty in the gun. Clock not rolling. Here comes the house. They'll hand it off to Edwards, left side, looking for running room. Not much there. Gets back close to the original line of scrimmage. Maybe just a yard shy of that. Let's call him down at the 15-yard line. A gain of 4. Bring up a 2nd down and 11 yards to go.
Gives him 32 for the night. He's our leading rusher. He kind of went away from the running game here in the second half.
Yeah.
Kind of went away from our positive yardage, too, after that.
Yeah.
Haven't really had a lot of possession.
Yeah. Petty in the shotgun. Low snap, back to pass. Steps up and is going to get pummeled here after a very short gain. Give him a 2-yard gain. Into the 17, and it's a 3rd and 9.
But he says, hey, Coach, I'd like to get 2 yards in a different way than that.
He took a pretty good beating that time, did Javen Petty. The second-year starting quarterback for this Sockeye program. They were 2-7 a year ago, and right now they are on their way to go to 0-4 with Morella Forsyth looming next week. The Yowzers. Petty's back to pass. Quick hitter left side. He's got his man. I believe that's Moore. No, Frazier possibly. Helms.
Helms, there you go.
Excuse me. Helms.
I believe that may be Helms' first reception of the year, if I'm not mistaken.
What? It's all. I can't see who caught it. It was Frazier. Up to the 25, and that'll be the end of the period.
What's all this?
Oh, that's just a line. They can't see it.
No, okay.
Just can't see the line, can you, Russ? End of the 3rd period, 33-0. New Berlin on top of Pittsfield. Back after this.
Camp Point Central Sports are proud to have Dew Wester Grain as a sponsor of this broadcast. Dew Wester Grain, there for you for all your grain and feed needs. Why don't you give them a call and check out all the locations of Dew Wester Grain? With locations in Golden, Paloma, Mount Sterling, Clayton, La Prairie, Liberty, Industry, Carthage, and Blandonsville. For more information, call Deer Wester Grain Services 696-4461. That's 696-4461, or on the web at deerwestergrain.com. Welcome to Douglas Automotive and Tire, your expert truck and car repair center in Pittsfield, Illinois. We provide full service from oil changes to new tires and everything in between. Contact us today to schedule service. We're located at 303 West Jefferson Street in Pittsfield, Illinois. Call 217-922-0064. That's 217-922-0064. Britton and the gang know cars, and if you need repairs, call Douglas Automotive today for all your repairs.
It is ready to start the 4th quarter. 33-0 the advantage for New Berlin. And what a big 3rd quarter it was for the Pretzels, John.
It was 14-0 at half, and now it's 33-0 here to start the 4th. Sockies are trying to put a drive together.
Petty is 4th and 1. They're going to go for it here and pitch it in the backfield to Edwards, who's trying to fight for yardage and doesn't look like he got it.
Did not get it.
He got to the line of scrimmage, and that'll be a turnover on downs.
On the 25.
Turnover on downs here.
We can gain a 0 there.
Yeah.
No gain, no loss, no applesauce.
No first down.
And to the 25-yard line is where New Berlin will start 1st and 10. They're a touchdown away and an extra point away from a running clock here.
The last 2 extra points have been blocked.
Kind of an oddity there, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Bixby in the shotgun. He will hand it off. No, he keeps it himself right up the middle. He spins forward, still fighting for yardage. Looks like he's close to the 17-yard line. Nice run of the play, 8-yard pickup. 2nd and 2. Caught a 2nd and 3, in fact. 2nd and 3. Oh, my darling. They'll hand it off now to the end around here. This is Fry. Fry got tackled pretty hard there at the end by Archer. But he got the first down near the 10.
Ball came out and rolled out of bounds as he was coming down, but
gained 7, and it's a first down. First and goal from the 10. So this is as far as it can go as far as goal to go. 11-11 and counting in this contest. First and goal from the 10-yard line for the Pretzels. Back to pass Bixby, looking back of the end zone, and he's got his man for the score. That looks to be Nelson again, doesn't it?
I believe it is.
Clark Nelson on his 2nd touchdown reception of the night. And the Pretzels take a 39-0 lead.
93 yards for Mr. Nelson tonight.
Pretty good night for the senior. Had that big play. What was it, 73 yards?
73 yards on one pass,
yeah. But that one he was ran a really nice route. Was open in the back of the end zone. And they found him, did Bixby. Now they're going to try to get the extra point. Not blocked here, so they can get a lead, and they're going to be a little closer because the Sockies were offsides.
Trying to get that block. What are we talking about here? They get to move half the distance and they kick.
Maybe they weren't set yet.
Oh, okay. Could be.
That's what they're going to say, though. They hadn't been ready for a play whistle yet. And it still looked like they were offsides, and the kick is still going to be good. Murdered the kicker.
I was going to say, and they're going to get roughing the kicker to go with it. So.
That'll be the cherry on top.
That'll be tacked on
Sunday, as they'll tack that on the kickoff. New Berlin, a 40-0 lead on a pass to Clark Nelson. 11:05 to play in the contest on Central Illinois Sports.
For nearly 40 years, the Niebuhr Funeral Home has been serving our area with professionalism and compassion. This is our business, our hometown. You can be assured we take great personal pride in serving your family in your time of loss. We're locally owned. We're your friends and neighbors. We care about you and your family. Niebuhr Funeral Home, with locations in Pittsfield and Barry, serving our community with compassion and respect.
Chris Nichols, managing broker and owner of PCRE Real Estate and Auction, has over 15 years of experience, specializing in selling hunting and recreational properties and farmland. Chris prides himself on combining buyers and sellers, both local and from around the country, to help both parties achieve their land investment goals. Chris takes the time to walk clients through the process of selling their property from start to finish, making the experience feel seamless and enjoyable. Contact Chris Nichols and PCRE Real Estate and Auction at 217-473-3777.
11:05 to play in this one, and the Sockies are going to have the running clock put on them for the third time in 4 weeks.
Consistency.
Well, it sure didn't look like that right before the half. But 5:45 to play in the first half. It was a 7-0 game, and it has gone downhill in a hurry for this Pittsfield squad since that point. And New Berlin, like shark with the blood in the water, has taken advantage. Nelson will kick this one off, kind of a squib kick. And going to be taken by one of the Saki upbacks there, and that is going to be Jake Ocker to the 35-yard line, and that's where the Sakis will start 1st and 10 at their own 35.
See what offense we run out there this time.
Rochester beat Jacksonville 56-0 at
it was a quick game
at the old Rocket Dome.
It's a nice place to watch a game, Charlie.
Yeah.
Jacksonville really looked like they had something going early on, but ran into some.
6:46. It's not to interrupt you. I just want to say this. 6:46 to play in the contest. Olympia leads Williamsville 27-20.
Wow. That's upset alert for sure.
I don't know that I'm terribly surprised that that's a close game. They're going to pitch it out to Edwards. He's going to get a short gain on the play up across the 35 to the 37. 2-yard gain.
I'm going to guess that Josh Cates is not having the performance that he had last week against the Sakis.
Yeah. I would say probably not. I was impressed, though, at Williamsville's physicality on the line play last week, but Stanford Olympia, some smaller, quicker guys, proving they can hang right with them. Here's Frazier on a catch up to the 39, a 2-yard gain. And it'll be 3rd and 6. Here's what I will say, though. Olympia came into the conference with the right attitude, not with the attitude of, gosh, this is a tough conference. It's got state-ranked teams and blah, 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 blah. They've heard over and over and over again.
Yeah, I mean,
they took it as a challenge. Man, we got to up our game, and they did. They were 5-4 last year, made it to the quarterfinals, got shellacked by Williamsville. Don't think they're not thinking about that as they're playing tonight. And not going to say that they're going to beat Williamsville, obviously. It's still some time left in that game, but they're right in it. They have taken a step in the right direction.
And this was
for certain
second week in a row where they've played state-ranked teams, too.
And off to Edwards. He'll break some tackles in the backfield. He's got the first down, trying to get to the sideline, and is slung down. And is upset by something up to the 48-yard line. That is a pickup of 9 yards. Enough for a Saki first down.
That's our first down of the second half.
That clock ticks quick when nothing stops it but touchdowns, timeouts, and injuries.
It's true. .8:20 and counting in this contest. Here is Petty on the pass to Frazier. Had a little bobble and is taken out of bounds near the 47. Pick up a 5 yards to the New Berlin 47. 2nd down and 5. Pretzels have a few different guys in there. Still some starters on the defensive side. Pittsfield has their starting offense still on the field, down 40 with 7:50 and counting on this one. Petty's in the shotgun on a 2nd down and 5. He will hand it off to Foster. Foster looking for running room on the right side, and it just wasn't there. He'll lose a couple yards on the play, back to the 48-yard line.
Tripped up that time by Evan Spencer, a sophomore.
Yeah, it's going to be 3rd down and 6 yards to go.
Just couldn't find a corner to turn there, could Lane Foster.
Petty will be in the shotgun with just a little over 7 minutes left in this one. I think I was offsides for a second. He got back in this time. They'll get the ball out in the flats. That's to Allen, isn't it?
Yep.
And Allen fights for a Saki first down to the 42-yard line. Gain of 6 on the play. It's what he needed, and a 1st and 10. So a fresh set of downs with 6:45 to play. Petty will be in the shotgun once again. And they draw New Berlin off sides. So Pittsfield did not win the game, the war, or the fight, but they did win the most times to get the team to jump off sides. Has been one of their most successful plays of the night. It'll be 1st and 5 from the 36.
New Berlin's 10th penalty for 60 yards.
Yeah, that'll be something that Coach Dombacher will really want to clean up, because this team, I'm telling you, I think has the talent especially offensively, to hang with some of these better teams. But they're not going to do it. Now the ball pops out. It flops right into Javen Petty's hands. And then he'll be tackled from behind by Matthew Edwards.
I was going to say by his running back to gain a couple of yards there.
34-yard line, a gain of 2. It's 2nd and 3. That ball popped up in the air. And very fortuitously, right back into Petty's hands.
Look what I got.
And is Pittsfield going to call timeout?
Not sure.
Petty's walking toward the sideline. 5:23 and counting. They're going to have to get this play in because it seems like it's taking, well, an eternity to get it in here, and I don't think they've called it yet.
I'm not really sure what we're doing here.
I think they're going to have to take a timeout. 2nd and 3. Back judge is not counting.
My goodness,
there's no play clock. If I mentioned that or not. Petty's in the shotgun. Nobody cares. I think they're just going to let it run. Get it out to Carter Frazier, and Carter Frazier is met with a pop of the pads. Big time stick that time for the Pretzels in Chris Duffy. He had that interception return earlier. Did Duffy? He had one, Dougherty had one, but Duffy, I think, is the man that scored the touchdown. That's back to the 37-yard line, so it's a loss of 3, and brings up a 3rd down and 6. Pinnock is split out wide to the right, all the way to the sideline, in fact. And they'll hand the ball off. No, Petty will keep it himself. Now he'll throw it off to McKelvey Moore. And McKelvey Moore takes it down near the 27-yard line, which will be enough for a 1st down. It's a 10-yard pickup. And the 1st and 10. While they get the chains moved, let's take a look on the Northwestern Mutual replay.
It was a creative play.
The hit from Duffy here on Carter Frazier a play or so ago. Frazier on that little bubble screen. Watch Duffy. He flowed in a hurry and boom, right by. And, yeah, his man did not block him necessarily. And he made him pay the price. Trips left, Petty, back to pass, fakes, shimmy, shoulder shake. Now he's going to take off and run to the right-hand side, trying to get the corner. Stiff arms Turley, and is taken down. Has a 1st down, does Javen Petty.
Petty's down right now.
He is slow to get up.
He is still not up.
I don't know what he's...
I think we're going to have a new quarterback here in a moment.
Tucker Cook
has come in.
They're going to get Petty
timeout.
out. They're kind of helping him off the field. They have time. They're going to hurry here. I don't want to drop
it. I was going to say, guys, you don't have to hurry. Just take your time.
Trainer's coming to look at him.
Trainer will take a look at Petty, and the pass, or the run, I should say, will take him down to the 14-yard line, which is a pickup on the play of, I'm sorry, the 37. That's a 23-yard gain by Javen Petty on 1st and 10.
Almost puts him back in positive yards.
I'm not exactly sure what the injury is here. He's off on his own power. He's not necessarily what I would call limping.
Maybe just a stinger. Or
he's not holding a shoulder or an arm or anything. But the trainer's going to take a look at him and say, what do we got here? Maybe a left shoulder? Possible. Might be what they're looking at. Tucker Cook will check in at quarterback. Cook is a junior for Pittsfield. And it's 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
Petty did have a broken
arm in basketball. Last year.
Yeah.
At Calhoun, bowed it in half.
Yeah. Maybe see some run option there with Tucker Cook.
I would say so. Cook with his first snap is going to keep it himself. And he'll get a yard on the play to the 13. Make it 2nd and 9.
One of his linemen just kind of picked him up and dragged him off the pile and said, here, come over here. You don't need to lay on top of those guys anymore.
It was not a great exchange between he and Edwards there trying on the handoff, but I don't know how much necessarily they really would have practiced that. Cook has played some JV, and then he didn't this last week. He looks to the sideline for the play call here. 2:25 and counting. He'll put Edwards on his left. Takes the snap. Hands it off to Edwards. Right up the gut. Fighting for yardage. He's down to the 5.
That was dumb.
And they threw the man at the end. Down to the 5-yard line. A gain of 8 on the play, and it's 3rd and a yard. Third and 1. With a minute and 45 seconds left in this contest.
Clock just keeps on ticking.
He needs to go with the quarterback run here. Cook takes the snap. He'll hand it off to Edwards. He'll be stood up. Did not get it, and it's going to be 4th and 1. So 4th and a yard to go. Pittsfield trying to get a score on the board here on homecoming night.
Bring in the big set, it looks like.
Kicker's on the field.
Or the jumbo. I formation. Cook will be under center. The deep back is Edwards. Haven't seen Foster in a while, have we?
He's only got 1 carry this half.
Huh.
Negative 2 yards.
No, a false start, looks like. And they fumbled the snap. So the false start would probably actually be better for Pittsfield than what the result of that play was about to be, which was a turnover. Instead, it's going to be a false start, moving back 5 yards.
I said, hey, roll the clock. That doesn't stop it.
Roll Tide. It'll be 4th and 6. Clock is rolling here.
Clock may tick off and end the game.
Could.
They're going to have to hurry to get a play in.
Might call timeout. They're going to bring on
receivers, and they're going to have to hurry.
On as a receiver, sophomore. And with 22 seconds left, this could be one of the final plays of the game. Cook in the shotgun on a 4th and 6. Takes the snap, back to pass, looking right, looking end zone. It is incomplete.
That'll do it.
And that'll be the game. Bottom of this one, New Berlin 40, Pittsfield nothing. As the Pretzels move to 3-1 of the season, the Sockies drop to 0-4, and we take you to the postgame show presented by Blessing Health System. The final stats and more after this.
We do a procedure called a transcatheter aortic valve replacement, and we call it TAVR.
TAVR is state of the art. Wasn't really available worldwide until the early 2000s.
It's a minimally invasive procedure in order to replace the valve.
I'm number 1.
I was number 100. Years ago, they would have to do open heart surgery, and now they don't.
Had I not had it done, I would not be here today. I feel like I'm living on a bonus of blessings.
As a new hunting season begins, we observe a species most rare, the hunter incompetus. The hunting ritual begins. Already he stakes his claim by bringing a duck call to a deer hunt. Disaster strikes. A devastating blow to a long-suffering species. There may be no helping the hunter incompetus, but for everyone else, no other place has it all like Farm and Home Supply. Tell my mom to pick me up soon.
When it comes to financial planning, most financial companies focus on your income. At Northwestern Mutual, we focus on your outcome. That's why we know what it takes to succeed both on your balance sheet and in your life. It takes the right financial partner who looks at where you are now and where you want to go and design a financial plan to take you there so you can achieve the life you're after today and every day after. Focus on your financial outcome with Northwestern Mutual. Contact Sheila Davidsmeyer today. Her office is located at 311 West Washington in Pittsfield, Illinois, or visit SheilaDavidsmeyer.nm.com. The Northwestern Mutual Life Insurance Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
I like hard work. I mean, I kind of was raised that way. You really do make a difference. You're helping ship out food to feed people. Someone's got to do it, and I don't mind doing the hard work of it, you know. That gives me meaning, and I do go home rewarded. Every time I drop off a pallet, it's kind of corny, but I look back at it with a sense of pride. I'm like, yep, I built that. It looks awesome. And then I just drive away. I love it. When my life needed meaning, I chose Doc.
Jersey's World! Jersey's World! Party time! Excellent! Party on, James! Party on, Todd!
Jersey's Bar and Grill in Camp Point, where you can find the best burgers, sandwiches, and steaks, all locally sourced from GJY Beef Company.
We love beer. We love beer.
Ice cold draft beer. Enjoy one of our many craft selections on the patio. All at Jersey's Bar and Grill, 109 East Jefferson, Camp Point, Illinois.
Chris Nichols, managing broker and owner of PCRE Real Estate and Auction, has over 15 years of experience, specializing in selling hunting and recreational properties and farmland. Chris prides himself on combining buyers and sellers, both local and from around the country, to help both parties achieve their land investment goals. Chris takes the time to walk clients through the process of selling their property from start to finish, making the experience feel seamless and enjoyable. Contact Chris Nichols and PCRE Real Estate and Auction at 217-473-3777.
Welcome back on the postgame show presented by Blessing Health System, serving the entire region with high-quality medical care close to where you live. Learn more at blessinghealth.org. Final on this one, New Berlin 40, Pittsfield nothing. Sockies dropped 0-4. New Berlin improves to 3-1. Some big scores in the Sangamo Conference. Athens is up on Auburn by 11 points with about 9 minutes left. Stanford Olympia beat Williamsville tonight, 27-20. One of the first losses in Sangamo Conference action for Williamsville to a team not named Maroa Forsyth for, quite honestly, about as long as I can remember, to be real honest. A big win for Stanford Olympia and a big turnaround. And that, as they fell last week to Athens, who looks to be right up there with Maroa Forsyth for a chance to win the championship of that conference. Brown County led Tropea at half 20-6. I'm just trying to see if we could get a final on that route score, as Beardstown was up big on them in the first half. We'll take a look at that in a second. West Central was leading Calhoun 30-19. That, in fact, might be a final. 30-19, West Central beats Calhoun.
What did that Monroe City South Shelby game end up, Charlie?
50-6.
And two state-ranked teams from Missouri.
Yeah.
The
South Shelby
2 and the 10 team.
And here on the postgame show, the Blessing Health System postgame show, Justin Poor's got to look at some highlights of your final stats.
Our Sockies ended up with 13 first downs. Rushing, we had 99 yards on 40 carries. Matthew Edwards led the way with 15 carries and 51 yards. Lane Foster had 6 carries for 21 yards. Javen Petty, -1 yard on 9 carries. Jesse Davids-Meyer did not carry the ball second half. He had 5 carries, 19 yards. Carter Frazier had 1 carry for -2 yards. McKelvey Moore had 2 carries for +9 yards. Luke Archer had 1 run for -5, and Tucker Cook had 1 carry for 1 yard. Passing, Javen Petty had 20 attempts, 16 receptions for 45 yards on the night. Leading the way was Connor Allen with 24 yards on 6 receptions. Carter Frazier had 13 yards, and Justin Pinnock had 11, and McKelvey Moore had 3 yards. Overall, tonight, defense was where we shined the most, but big plays by New Berlin put this one away early in the second half, and those big plays were really the interception at the end of the first half that led to a touchdown, and the 60-yard punt return that also led to a touchdown for the Pretzels. Lucas Bixby had 131 yards passing, 93 of those yards to Chase Nielsen. Rushing, Bixby led the way with 46 yards on 10 carries. Charlie, what do they got to do to better eliminate those big plays?
Well, I mean, the thing about it is you think about, I don't want to say it all goes back to one play in the last 5 minutes or so of the first half, or I guess I should say in the last minute or so of the first half, but it goes back to one play at the end of the first half, in my opinion. It's a 7-0 game. Let's say you just run out the clock there even. You're down 7-0 at halftime is a lot different than an interception that then gets run back and a score. that happens after that to make it 14-0. And then, of course, the second half starts with just 3 turnovers within the first 6 minutes, and it went from bad to worse for Pittsfield in a hurry, and they were just never able to recover in this one as they lose their homecoming contest by a score of 40-0 to New Berlin. It's time to name our player of the game, presented by Edward Jones financial advisor Derek Harris. Financial investments are important, but so are the investments of time, patience, and encouragement our young athletes receive from their coaches, teachers, parents, and mentors. Derek Harris, your Edward Jones financial advisor, understands this. That's why Derek Harris is a proud sponsor of the player of the game on Central Illinois Sports. And how about the night from Clark Nelson? Big night for him. A couple of times had some touchdown catches. He also did a nice job on the kicking side of things for this Pretzel squad, and he's going to be our player of the game on Central Illinois Sports. That's going to do it from Glenn C. Smith Field. For John Hull and Justin Poor, I'm Charlie Hull, thanking you for joining us for another Central Illinois Sports presentation.